to...
You good, Timon?
The Red Pill Phone Tap. Welcome, all of our guests, to another episode of the Red Pill Phone Tap. I got to tell you, we started tonight on a really, really good note, specifically a tasting note, where we tasted some very exciting bourbons. My wife was kind enough to get us some really, really cool bourbons to taste right before the program. That's why we're getting started a little bit late. But we haven't forgotten you guys. We had some great moments on Facebook today where we gave our fans some behind the scenes of how we do this show. If you guys want to ever join us live on Friday nights, we do this every Friday night. Just go ahead and do a Facebook search for the Red Pill Phone Tap. And you'll be able to join us live. You'll get everything. We do every podcast live, Anthony. There's no editing here at the Red Pill Phone Tap, is there?
Get that raw data.
No. We are one take Jake when it comes to our podcast.
Go ahead and subscribe on YouTube as well, just in case you can't do it live. Go ahead and check us out so you won't miss us when we upload it on Sundays.
Yeah, I've never watched Anthony. My favorite podcast ever is the Joe Rogan Experience. I've never watched one of those live ever.
Yeah,
but some people like to watch YouTube live. You're the one that pointed it out to me. Like, some people will just cruise the YouTubes,
yeah,
and see like, hey, what's going on live right now. And we've seen it on Facebook when we did our bourbon tasting earlier.
Right.
People will just tune in. They're like, hey, what's going on?
Exactly.
And it's, especially during COVID, right? It's probably way more important.
Because, surfing, think about our society where surfing cable is boring. People have seen the same shows done over and over again, the same movies. There's no uniqueness about it. But then they jump on YouTube and they're like, hey, there's unique people in the world all over the world. So I can surf the internet and surf channels live and see what's happening. So
yeah, and that's a good point. These people are just smarter than me. I don't do that. They're just smarter than me. I mean, you might catch some fucking crazy shit. Let's jump right into the podcast, Anthony. We got a very good show for everybody tonight. We're going to open up with we were doing the pre-show, and we had someone come in, and they wanted to talk about the power of touch. And we were having such a good conversation. I was like, you know what? Let's change the third segment to the first segment, and let's talk about the power of touch, because I didn't realize you and I had some real life hacks for guys out there dating. Then we're going to talk about, and I think this is going to be the meat and potatoes of the podcast tonight, we're going to talk about skipping seduction. This is a great topic. Anthony, you and I agreed this is what rookies do, and it's also what veterans do. Right? Skipping seduction. You're either new and you don't know better, or you've gotten so comfortable that you're skipping seduction. And this is going to be a very, very bad habit to get into. In the third segment tonight, we're just going to call, you're sexist. You're sexist. You're criticizing women, so you must be a sexist. Guys that have taken the red pill, you're going to hear this a lot. We're going to tell you how to deal with it. But let's just jump right into it, Anthony. Power of touch. Now, for those of you that weren't here for the pre-show that we did live on Facebook, you were giving out a really, really good one that I used a lot too, is when you're in a crowded place, talk softly so that a woman leans into you. This is a great way to get women comfortable with being in your personal space, right, Anthony?
Oh, yeah. First off, happy Juneteenth.
We were talking about this on the way over. I think this is the first time that our podcast has fell on a holiday.
Yeah.
And given the current climate in the world, what a great first time holiday for us, you know?
Yeah.
Happy Juneteenth, everybody.
If you're not familiar with that, just look it up. All right. But yeah, power of touch, man. Anytime a woman can enter into your personal space is one of those things where you happily want, and typically with a woman, she'll still put a barrier between you and herself when she comes in close by putting her hand on your shoulder when she leans in, or on your arm, or on your hand, to kind of just, still separate herself, because women naturally are still trying to protect themselves. They know that you, the man, have a lot of dexterity and things that you can do to overpower her in multiple ways. This is just a subconscious maneuver for her. She don't realize what she's doing, but that's just what she's doing.
Anthony, can I add to what you just said?
Sure.
Women that know men are physically more strong than they are. There are women that just think they can beat up guys. And ladies, again, because I know Cindy Lou, you're with us in the live stream. Ladies that don't know that men can overpower them, if they've watched too many Jennifer Garner movies or, whatever. I'm here to tell you, ladies, and I'm not trying to be offensive. If you're one of these ladies that think you can beat up men, you look incredibly ignorant to men. I just want you to know that. You look incredibly ignorant to men. I've told this story on this podcast many, many times before. There was a gal in my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym that fought Cyborg for the UFC title. Every guy in my gym pretty much dominated her. And she fought for the UFC title. I'm talking about white belts, blue belts. And by the way, Tanya, if you're listening to this, no offense. It's cool. You're a woman. You weren't born with the same bone density, testosterone, and shit like that. And by the way, nobody that watches MMA will tell you that women's MMA is not entertaining. It's just as entertaining as the men. And there's not a lot of sports you can say that about. The only one I can think of is volleyball. Anthony, jump in here.
I love women's volleyball.
Women's volleyball is so fucking
and
fun to watch.
Tennis.
Women's tennis, yeah. Women's tennis is just as entertaining to watch as men's tennis. Soccer?
Yes.
Because women's soccer is so fucking fun to watch because there's a lot of one-on-one ball handling shit you don't see in men's soccer because men's defense is a lot better.
But all those sports are not physical contact where you're having to show your strength physically.
Well,
these are more endurance, strategy type of games where you don't have to be stronger than a man to do this.
Well, I was going to be even more specific and say, if these same teams played the worst men's team, like the women's soccer team that won the World Cup, the Women's World Cup. And by the way, love that team. There's nobody on this program is going to diss the women's soccer team. They're fucking amazing. They're fun as hell to watch. But if they played the worst men's team, they would lose. Yeah. They would lose like 11-0.
Men are faster.
It's no problem. It's fucking awesome to watch that shit. It's fucking amazing. It's just the woman's version. There's no harm in that. Okay? But if you're in Ronda Rousey knows, because she's been a fighter her whole life, Ronda Rousey knows that she probably can't beat me up. She might. I mean, judo's a different, if we're being specific, judo's a really, really rough martial art. She might, but if I hit her one time, she's probably going to fucking bite the dust, man. And by the way, Ronda Rousey's fucking awesome. here's the thing with Tanya Ettinger that worked out in my gym, Ronda Rousey, all this other shit. It doesn't mean women are less. But if women don't know that men are dangerous physically to them, it just makes them look fucking stupid, dude. Right? You just watched Harlem Nights way too many times and saw that one chick beat up Eddie Murphy.
You're going to shoot me in my pinky toe.
That's a great movie take, Anthony. But women that don't know that men can physically dominate them, they just look fucking really stupid. And looking really stupid to both sexes is very unattractive. I mean, there's no way around it. So in the seduction process, when a woman gets close to you and she feels comfortable being close to you, this is a very slow, magical thing that happens, right, Anthony?
Yeah, I like watching it unfold. Actually, I'm not thinking about it step by step, as we will probably discuss tonight, but I'm just used to it happening, so it's natural for me. Mm-hmm. But I do enjoy that process of it because I like when women are comfortable around me, and it's easy for them to be comfortable because I create the opportunity to be comfortable around me, right? And that's important. You got to know how to create the environment for comfort. If you're awkward, socially, it's kind of hard. And I told you about a show. I wish you would have seen it before we did this podcast. We can discuss it. But the season 2 of Dating Around has come out.
And I can't wait to watch it.
My God. I'm going to tell you something. Our next podcast is going to be about it because once you watch it, you're going to want to touch on it. I promise
you. You can't unsee it, right?
Listen, man. It is. If you're listening or watching today and you haven't seen that, go on Netflix right now. Well, after the show. Go on Netflix.
Yeah, don't go right now. We have a very good show for you right now.
And check that out because it is so cringy, but you can't stop watching it. It's like, oh my God. It is so wrong in so many areas that it's like, I can't stop watching it. When is the next episode going? So this is season 2 now. Season 1 was okay. Season 2 is like, it's like, I'm angry. I'm by myself watching this show, and I'm yelling at the fucking TV, man. Just like...
Let's go on a sidebar for a second.
Yeah.
What makes you yell at the TV? Watching the obvious mistakes?
Yes.
That's what gets me fired up.
And they're back to back to back to back. It's so many that he's fucking up that it's like, why, man? And it's like, I can tell why you're single. Like, I can tell why you're struggling to get to where you want to be because it's too many mistakes. And if a woman likes you, you can make these mistakes, right? But you can only make them for so long until she's like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And she's going to check out. And if she's a high value, sought after woman, that's going to be later on that day or the next day. You don't have a lot of time to fuck up. It could happen in a moment while she's on a date with you and see somebody, and another guy can see you struggling and be like, you know what? Let me be the man in her life right now because she's obviously not with one right now. So just a guy. Have you ever been on a date and the guy just fucking came and approached your date while you're on a date with her?
We told a story on this podcast about that, didn't we?
This is a man that feels like he has more value than you from the outside looking in. And if he does, he can take your bitch. He can take her right there in front of you.
Well, hold on, Anthony. But specifically, those are two scenarios. That he either thinks he's high value or he thinks he's being sneaky, which we identify as a very beta.
Yeah. That's a whole nother dynamic.
We've talked about that on this podcast.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. Check out some previous episodes. But being a man that can set the tone for close interactions with a woman is a man that understands his own comfort level and understands a woman's uncomfort level. So think about this, guys. You're already comfortable. It's your job to make her comfortable. So she's going to be uncomfortable, at her default. Her default is uncomfortable. So when you make her comfortable, you doing something right. So, write what the fuck you been doing down, so you can know you're not making mistakes anymore. You're just like, okay, every time I do this, she's comfortable. Every time I do this, the panties come off. These are things that you need to be aware of, so we're not out here getting lucky. You're out here knowing what the fuck you're doing. You're being a man about your shit, and she's being okay being in your presence. Okay, so the power of touch, we'll get to it. I just want to kind of, if you don't know me by now on this podcast, I love to kind of do a prelude to what we're getting to, because I don't want you to think that it's just that fucking easy. Like we just jumped out of bed and we just knew how to make women comfortable in our presence.
Yeah, that's the thing, Anthony. Is there's a lot to. You can't just pull us out on a soundbite and be like, this is how you do it. Mm-mm. Because you're like, wait, especially you, because I've known you for years. You've got this thing like, well, before you know this, you got to know this, and you also got to know this, you got to know this,
right?
You got to know that. Here's the thing that I think a lot of guys don't realize is when it comes to touch, and we all know, guys, I mean, this is Corey Wayne 101. Right? When we're on a date, we touch to escalate. By the way, when you're married, it's no fucking different.
Nope.
When you come in the door, I grab my beautiful fucking Why do I keep calling her Asian?
I don't know,
Asian
man.
And not Vietnamese.
My
beautiful Vietnamese wife, I grab her around her beautiful small hips, and I give her a kiss. And when I don't do it, she's walking around the house looking for the kiss, especially if I acknowledge our baby first and I don't kiss her. But that's what the power of touch is, right? It doesn't matter if you're on a first date or you're in a marriage. That physical touch is really important. And
how many times do women? I'm gonna tell you something, man. Us as men are so unique. Women are always out here talking about they want a man. You don't hear men out here saying they want a woman.
Nope.
And
they don't have a good track record.
The thing is, man, we love on a level that is deeper than women. Let's just call it what it is. Society has lied. Women don't love more than men. It's just a fucking lie. Don't believe it. Don't believe the hype. Women desire this fucking physical touch from us. The desire, they want to feel desired because we can offer something to them that makes them feel desired. When does a woman make you feel like she desires? I've been around women that make me feel that way, but it's always temporal. It's never fucking loyal like we can give it on a fucking consistent basis. This is something that it's like catnip to them. And when you, like you just mentioned it, if they don't get it, they're feeling without. And so this is why you see a lot of women on social media still trying to get fucking likes and loves and all these shit from strange fucking men that they don't know, but they get this feeling. They get this feeling from men that they are desired and loved. And when they don't have it, man, they're still searching for it. They call themselves hopeless romantics.
Yeah.
You hear that shit a lot, right? So they are looking for that romantic shit that men can provide, man.
My I wrote down what I'm going to agree with you on this. I'm going to wait for Anthony to come back, but one of my favorite womanese fucking words, when I hear women say it, I roll my eyes because I know they're about to spout some bullshit. One of my favorite womanese words is the word journey. Why? Journey, when women use the word journey, they're basically just saying like, I'm living my life, but they're trying to kind of have some kind of like romantic word for just being alive. And so they'll use the word journey. Well, it's just, I knew that, and this is another one. The universe was trying to tell me, this is more womanese. I knew that the universe was trying to tell me on my journey that this is what it was supposed to be. I needed to leave him so that I could get with this guy that makes $100,000 more a year than he does. It's just part of my journey. It's very weird how no matter what fucked up shit women do, they've got their own fucking language of how they justify what the fuck they're doing. This is why, guys, in the United States, 82% of divorces are initiated by women. This is a real statistic. 82% of divorce. And Anthony, I was telling them one of my favorite womanese words is part of my journey. The word journey. Journey just means being alive.
Oh, goddamn.
Part of my journey, and the universe was trying to tell me, the universe, motherfucker, the universe is not a person. You're just trying to justify what the fuck you're doing. But Anthony, I was waiting on this for you to come back. Mm-hmm. You were talking about physical touch, and I wanted to tell guys, and this is, guys, are you guys ready for a really, really tough pill to swallow? I was talking about how my wife follows me around the house until I kiss her. And by the way, guys, I'm coming in the house. I'm not trying to be a dick. Guys, one day we're going to have my wife on this program and have her here and ask her. We're going to have all you guys ask her the questions. Because you guys must think I'm a total fucking dick to my wife. Anthony, is that your experience?
Nah.
Not at all. I didn't get these fucking wonderful bottles of bourbon because I'm a total fucking piece of shit to my wife. But when she's following me around the house looking for a kiss, it's not because I'm just being a dick and being just like giving her the finger and shit like that. Dude, I've got like shit in my hands. I want to undress and change into my Mr. Rogers, casual uniform. I wear dress clothes to work, and it's just kind of like, I want to kiss my wife. I'm just trying to get all this shit done, right? I want to I live with an Asian woman. I got to get my shoes off. Asian women don't like you to wear shoes in the house, So it's like there's things that I got to do when I walk in. I enjoy kissing my wife. But that following me around the house tells me like where our relationship's at. And I wrote down this, Anthony. I want to see if you agree. Guys, this is going to be a tough pill to swallow. Guys, if you come home and she doesn't immediately want to physically touch you, it's kind of over. That's rough, isn't it? That's very sobering, isn't it, Anthony?
Well, you got to recognize that she's not even meeting you at the door, not greeting you when you come home. That's a big thing for a man. If your woman isn't greeting you at the door when you come home or welcoming you home.
Jesus, Anthony, we got a lot of great comments in the live stream.
Okay.
Jay, one of my close friends out in Tampa, he says, real honest communication. It's raw and primal. No words, just actions. I think everyone on this program agrees with that.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
I don't believe...
Because, Anthony, you talk about this all the time. You're like,
yeah.
I don't listen to fucking shit that women say.
Nope.
I watch what they do.
Yep.
Primal's a great word to describe that, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. When a man has gone outside of the home for whatever time, this goes back to hunting, right? He could die out there. He can come back injured. He can come back with the catch, or he can come back with nothing. But he was out there trying to provide for his family. So appreciating that as he walks back through the door is primal, right? That's not
Anthony. Jesus Christ! Go ahead and pat your head right now with our prop. Talk about preaching. I mean, Jesus Christ. Sometimes I have to take a moment and realize when you nailed something so fucking good, because you're right. That's where this all originates from, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you come in the house and the woman gives you a kiss, that's how shit used to be when we lived in caves, right?
Yeah. Thank you for fucking risking your life to provide for us. You know what I'm saying? It's real.
Driving a car is risking your life, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I remember...
Yeah. The statistics are worse than aircraft crashes, right?
Aircraft crash, yes.
Is
there aircraft
crashes?
Man, next time I fly Southwest, I'll be like, "Where's this aircraft cash at?" No, seriously though, you're right. And I had this conversation with my wife recently, where she was, and again, I'm not trying to beat her up on this, but she had the baby, and the baby was kind of angry. She's teething right now. She's kind of being cunty. And it was one of these things where she didn't say, "I love you." We get off the phone. And what do beta blue pill guys do? Whatever. I'll just give her a mulligan. She was dealing with the baby. Nope. No, sir. That's not how we run this company over here in House of Page. We don't run shit like that over here. I called her back and let me give you some background here. Okay? Her ex used to make her answer the phone, "I love you." I am not making this up.
Wow.
I am not making this up, guys. Can you guys imagine answering the phone? Like when Anthony calls me, I'm like, "Hey man, what's up?" When someone else, like unidentified number, calls me, "Hello?" No. Every time my wife's ex called her, and she was with this guy for 14 years.
That's fucking weird.
She had to answer the phone. "I love you. I love you."
Wow.
Yeah, so that
is that needy? What is that? What do you think that is?
It's very needy. It's very insecure. And so, but this has shaped her life. She wants to be like, "I never want to do that ever again." Right? But by the way, we both understand that, right?
Yeah.
You never want to relive this thing you had to deal with in your past that you hated. So I called her back and I was like, "Hey, you know what, sweetie? I know that it's a very important value to you to not have to just be told, 'Hey, every time we talk, you got to say I love you.'" And so I was like, no, I'm dialing her right back. Hold on a second. Because I don't mind having conflict as long as we're going to arrive at a better place, right? So I call her and I'm like, "Look, I understand that's part of your past. Someone forced you to answer the phone. I love you." Okay. However, out here in the normal world, outside of that weird fucking relationship, the sentiment of saying "I love you" when you get off is, this is the last thing we're going to say to each other, right? If I'm in a car and someone hits me and kills me, the last thing we said to each other was "I love you," and you mean it. And I was like, so don't ever do it if you don't mean it. But I want to remind you what the sentiment is. And my wife, she didn't bat an eyelash, and she goes, "You're right. Sorry about that." I was kind of in my own feelings about when you first brought it up about being forced to answer the phone "I love you." That's not what's happening over here. But the sentiment is, this could be the last time we ever talk to each other. So when you get home and you're safe, as Anthony pointed this out, the physical touch is like, shit, you made it home. This is fucking awesome. This is one more day we have together. But fellas, if she doesn't want to physically touch you when you walk in the door, I'm sorry to tell you this. It's kind of over. I mean, you're just kind of.
So you can't correct it, huh?
You're doing the
CPR.
Clear. 1, 2,
You're on life
3,
support.
4. All right, let's breathing. And when you're on life support in a relationship, boy, you better bring it back.
Man, shit is hard, man.
Yeah. I mean, you and I have both gone through it, right?
I'm gonna ask you something though. Like, this is what get me with guys when they're at the end of their relationship or the relationship just ended. Relationships don't fucking turn on its head in one day. You know what I mean? Like, there's been some shit going on for a while. So you've allowed shit to play out and it just got worse, and now it's no longer symptoms. Now you have a sickness. You know, you've been diagnosed with a sickness, so you can't just say, "Oh, what's the magic pill to take?" No, antibiotics takes at least a week. So if you've been sick for a while, it's gonna take a while to heal this shit. That's if you know what's wrong, if you can treat exactly what is wrong with it, right?
Nothing's been more truer, Anthony. When it comes to relationships, and this goes for all relationships, friendships are relationships. Relationships are kind of like plants. So if you haven't been watering a plant for a while, watering it at one time is not going to fix the plant. Like, it's like, oh shit, I've been neglecting this. True story. Our friendship, it was getting to like a thing where we were doing the podcast every week. I've been dealing with my baby. Things got busy at work. And I was feeling something in our friendship. And remember, I called you on a Thursday. I was like, dude, let's go have a drink, man. It's not about the podcast. Let's just go have a drink, you know? And we went to Davenport here in Houston. Guys, check it out. We talked about it on the pre-show. And we just got to be friends that day. It was just this watering of the friendship, you know, where we just kind of got to be friends. I mean, this podcast has become a big thing that we're both passionate about. But it was like, this was the only thing we were doing once a week. I was like, dude, let's just go be friends, you know? Let's just water this friendship. And then it led to more watering and more talking and shit like that. And let's be honest, man. White versus black in the United States has been fucking crazy the last 2 weeks. I'm white, you're black. It's fucking hard, man. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm on your side, but I can't experience what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough place to be. If your best friend is black, like mine is, like, you don't know what to do, you know? And relationships need this kind of watering, especially through really fucking hard times. So if you're in a relationship, or these are women, I mean, women in your rotation, Anthony, are it's kind of like relationships, right? It's like you're managing a relationship with 5 different women. You're not monogamous, but it is a relationship, right?
Yeah, anytime you're dealing with another human, there's some kind of ship involved as far as, you know, it all has levels. You know, you can label it whatever you want, but all the relations have can be labeled if you want to label it. I'm one of the people that don't like labels because I don't want labels to define what we have. I want to just be who we are. And a label, if I'm trying to live up to a label just because the label is attached to what we call ourselves, now it's not who we are. Now it's what we are trying to be. And then it's putting undue pressure on it because now we're trying to live up to a societal label and no longer just being, you know, natural to who we are to each other.
We were in a video chat earlier, and Jay's here in the live stream, but we were in a video chat earlier where you and I were kind of like leaning in so we could get on the phone screen. Mm-hmm. And this is 2 very heterosexual guys. And you just kind of had your elbow like leaning in on my back. And I was just like, yeah, this is my fucking boy. This is how powerful physical touch is, isn't it? Like, and this is why in society we greet each other with a handshake or a dap or
a hug,
or one of your favorites, high fives. Physical touch is very, very powerful. Now, Anthony, let's go down to let's take it way down to physical touch 101. Okay. Now, I got a lot of this from Corey Wayne's book, How to Be a 3% Man. Physical touch a lot of times is this is okay. This is okay. Not okay to do that, and you get rejected.
Okay.
Now, I want to point out to our listeners, what you and I used to do was, I want to be the good guy. I want to respect this woman. I want to respect her space. I won't do that at all for the rest of this date.
Right.
Or ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, let's go down to physical touch 101. No means no
right
now.
Yeah.
Yes. No means no right now.
Yeah.
You just haven't, and because you and I both love cooking, it's like you're going and you're getting the temperature on the meat. It's not ready now, but it will be. Don't worry. It'll still be ready today.
Yeah. Yeah.
This brisket is just not the right temperature right now. We're going to come back to this in a minute. And what you guys will literally find out when we talk about a real timeline, no means no for about 20 minutes. What's been your experience with this, Anthony? I'm talking about you're going for a touch. Now, we've all been rejected completely. We've all been rejected completely.
Yeah.
But for women that are kind of slow to get there, 20 minutes has been a pretty good barometer.
Yeah, real easy.
Yeah.
But 20 minutes is kind of long for me, but...
okay. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just not as fucking seductive as you are. But 20 minutes was a really good...
20 minutes is okay. I'm thinking about what touch it is, though. Like, I wanted to be more specific about which touch it is, because... If I'm trying to get sexual with my touch, then I scale it back. For instance, let's say I've held her hand, right? I've been able to hold her hand for longer than 10 seconds, and I'm able to kind of gaze in her eyes, whatever, and talk to her. And I've been able to do that. She's been cool. There was no pull away. There was, okay, she's cool with that. Cool. Now, if I want to be more intimate, now I put my arm around the shoulder, right? Now I'm putting my thumb in the middle of the top of her back. Okay? I'm specific with that because I'm not, and then I try to go down. I let her know that I'm there on the back of her back, and then I purposely go lower. Now, let's say I want this to be a sexual encounter. I'm going to go at her waist and pull her close and either go for a kiss in the moment, if it's right, or just for, man, this perfume you have on smells so good, I got to get a good whiff of it, right? There's a level of escalating that's not sexual but sensual, right? And if I'm pulling her close to me and then you feel her tighten up, her body tightens up, she's not ready for that. So you don't be like, okay, I ain't gonna never pull her close to me again. Now you just go back to what she allowed to you.
The old me would have done that.
What?
The old me would have been like, no, she doesn't want that. I'll never do that ever again.
What you need to do is go back to what
stupid,
the last thing you did that she did allow. Go back to that. Okay? And then
By the way, whoa. Go back to that.
Okay.
You're so right. Mm-hmm. This is, and again, women, when they are like dogs, I like to observe it. Because dogs are the greatest creature on this fucking planet. Okay? Fuck you, cat people. I said it. I said it. I'm just kidding. I love cats. But it's kind of like that with dogs, right? When you're having a great moment with a dog and they don't know what the fucking new command is, but they know roll over.
Yeah.
And they're like very confident about it. Like, all right, well, let's go back to roll over. And they're like, oh, thank God. I know that trick.
Yeah.
And they're trying to like learn a new trick.
Mm-hmm.
And again, don't send me your emails about you're comparing women to dogs. Ladies, you can only be so lucky. We are not comparing women to dogs here. Because y'all are not that fucking awesome. Okay? I don't want to insult dogs. Okay? Because dogs are fucking awesome. Y'all are a fucking nightmare at times.
Mm-hmm.
I kid. But you're right. If you just go back to the touch that you were at, they can kind of feel this safety baseline, right?
Right.
This is such a good life hack for dating. I just wanted to accentuate it because this is what I've experienced too. I just wanted to make sure guys are hearing that part of. So you had your thumb in her back. Mm-hmm. You went to go touch her breast, and she's like, "I'm not ready for that yet.
Nah, it's too much.
It's too much. I'm just not. I'm not at that level of seduction yet, which we're going to talk about later in the program. I'm not at that level of seduction yet. But I could be in 20 minutes.
Well, so what's happening though is that she hasn't forgotten about it. There's a trigger in her head that says that she's desired. Right?
Which turns her the fuck on.
Exactly. So what Wesley is saying is like, hey, give her time so she can come around. Ryan just said something in the thread. It's perfect. You know,
I've been waiting on it because he said this very well, didn't he?
Yeah. You take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Is that simple?
Oh, I thought you were talking about his other comment.
I didn't read that.
Ryan, and I've kind of been waiting on this because it's so well said. He says, touch engages a woman's imagination, as you were just saying. Mm-hmm. And you didn't even see this comment, but you were just saying the same thing. Touch engages a woman's imagination. A woman's imagination is a huge part of seducing them.
Yes.
And it's very, very true.
Yeah,
I've been kind of holding on to that comment because it's very, very true.
They want to. So women live in their head a lot, fellas.
Why do you say that?
Because they're full of fantasies. Like they believe in stories, they believe in fairy tales and all this shit. They'll tell you that they've been dreaming of fucking their wedding date since they were 5 years old, type shit, right? So they read these fucking, romantic novels when they're teenagers. They've been force fed this shit their whole life. So to play it out in real life is what they been waiting for, but they kind of want this to play out at their speed and at their comfort level. Sometimes, like, if she's comfortable with her sexuality, she's gonna let the man kind of dictate the flow and the speed of what happens, because she wants the man to be in control, because that's what the man's supposed to do, is lead, to where he wants. She is the actual gatekeeper of if it's going to go down, but he is the one that's going to initiate. The fuck Disney want? I ain't even say shit.
Disney just sent us a message. I'm sorry, guys. Disney listens to this program, and Disney just sent us a direct message, and it says, men do not lead because women and men are equals, Anthony.
That's a whole lie, if I ever heard one.
That's what Disney said, and they said that they're going to demonetize our podcast if we do not step in line. Hold on. Another message. This is what Disney said. Have you ever seen Mulan, motherfucker? Okay, that's enough, Disney. Don't curse at us. Yeah, men and women are not equal. Men are leaders. And it's very contrary to what is said publicly, right?
Well, again, I don't believe in what women say. I just don't.
Well, why is that, Anthony? Because you watch what women do, right? One of the things that I wanted to point out when it comes to physical touch, I wanted to point out the fake kiss.
The fake kiss?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
a move. That was a move for me when it comes to physical touch.
Okay. I'm very interested because I'm wondering if it's the same move I've done. Go ahead.
Yeah. It could be. I got to tell you, the fake kiss. Sometimes I would move in, and then I would act like I would move in really close and look them in the eyes, and then grab something.
Yeah.
On the bar, like a napkin
Yeah.
or something. And sometimes, depending on the date, I would grab for the napkin and be like, "What? Did you think I was going to kiss you? I never kiss on the first date. I never do that. You're fucking insane. There's no way I would ever do that." And now, what was their challenge?
They gonna kiss you
whole fucking night.
They're gonna kiss
right.
you. Yeah.
And again, this is all physical touch, how it raises attraction. This is physical touch is what men wish texting was. This is what they wish texting was.
Yeah.
Newsflash, the only time you can use physical touch to raise attraction is if you're fucking on a date with them.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Or in person with them at least.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the fake kiss was a real big one for me, where I would go in for the kiss and then act insulted if they thought I was going to kiss them. Again, with a lot of sense of humor.
Right.
We're not being the fucking Terminator here. I never kiss on the first date. That was fucking stupid. We're not going fucking full on, Mr. T. I'll never kiss a bitch on the first date, fool. We're not doing that, okay? It's all done tongue in cheek, right?
Yeah.
The fake kiss was a powerful physical move for me. Did you ever pull that, Anthony?
Yeah. I would do that, especially if I can tell they're a little there's some tension between us. I'm saying sexual tension. It's a tease mechanism, right? Where I can give you what you want, but I choose not to.
Yeah.
So there's some restraint on my end as well. So she knows I'm not hard up for no kiss or no physical touch. I can do without it, but this is what I want to do. So what I'm doing right now is something I'm choosing to do. This is not something that I have to do, or my sexual aura is controlling me. I have control of it. You know what I mean? So I think when a woman can see that you can actually do something but you don't do it, that builds attraction as well. So
yeah,
that you can. I remember one time I was on a date and we were discussing kissing, right? And this is a good, date hack for you guys. If you want to do something, discuss it. Have a conversation about it. See how they feel about it. A lot of times, a lot of my kissing it's not a waiting for a magical moment. I brought the moment upon us to have, and I was like, "What do you find attractive about good kissers?" That's a question. Mm-hmm. She can't say yes or no to that question. She has to fucking go into her feelings and her emotions. I'm making her think about good vibes about kissing. You know what I mean? Not negative vibes about it, but good vibes. Now she's in her head about positive kissing moments and what she likes about it.
Yeah, Anthony, again, some of this stuff is super elementary to you and I because of what we did for a living. You and I, when we met, we were both in sales, right? You had a great engineering mind, additionally to sales, which I think is why your red pill shit is so fucking amazing, because you kind of already have that engineering mind. You know what I'm saying? So where you want to sit down and break down every little fucking thing to the smallest part. For people that just want internet memes as part of how they think about shit, you probably frustrate a lot of people. But to people that want to get to greater truths, like myself, it's very refreshing, because you want to sit down and break down all this shit to make it, well, first of all, to make yourself understand it, and then if you're discussing this with somebody else, to make it very understandable for other people too. I'm really glad Ryan brought physical touch in, because I didn't realize how many fucking hacks we had for physical touch. This is a story from me. I remember having sex with a girl, and again, guys, because I was very familiar from Corey Wayne's book of like no means no for now. And motherfuckers, don't fucking take this as no means yes. Jesus Christ. Sometimes I worry about people, Anthony. No, you should never, ever. Anthony and I have talked about this hundreds of times. We don't even understand motherfuckers that get erect for women that don't want them. Like, we don't even understand that. Really, what the fuck? How does somebody rape a bitch? The chick's screaming, no, 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 no. She's got tears in her eyes and shit. And you can get erect during all this? What the fuck? That's not what we're saying. But I remember having sex with a girl one time, and she was done. She orgasmed. She was very satisfied. And she was like, there was this real genuine look of surprise on her face. And she's like, I didn't know I was going to do that. So I knew that the seduction process went very, very well. She had kind of come over deciding, no matter what happens, we're not going to have sex because I'm not a fucking slut.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's, I didn't know I was going to do that. And I just kind of cradled her up, and I was like, sweetie, attraction, people, chemistry, it's a real thing. Like, it's okay. You're not, like, I'm like kind of cradling her up and be like, you're not a slut, bitch. It's okay. Yeah, seriously. And it was just very much like, sweetie, it's okay.
Calm down.
Yeah, calm down. I'm glad you had a good time. But she was just, after the excitement of her orgasm, she's just like, I didn't know I was going to do that. I'm like, all right, come here. Calm down. And that's what this is, guys. Physical touch just keeps escalating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that Ryan brought it up, because it's a very, very good topic. As you started talking about it, I'm like, shit, this is something we don't touch, because this is something that's really, this is kind of like breathing for you and I, right? This is kind of like, we just kind of test the boundaries of what am I allowed to do physical touch-wise, and I'm constantly testing. The goal line keeps moving, right?
Yeah.
And then and then guys, you will get a hard no. Like, I don't do that. And you're like, okay, I'm sorry, I can't put it in your ass. I apologize. That's not available to me. I mean, we've been married for 6 years. I thought I could put it in your ass. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, ass play.
I don't want to say too much about my own relationship, but my wife and I have not been married 6 years. Make your own deductions. Go on.
Ass play is still a conversation piece.
Doesn't have to be.
You don't just like slip it in somebody's ass. Like
yes, you can.
Like,
sorry, I have a different life experience on that one.
They already had that, available then, because, to me, I'm gonna say, but like I said,
I will say you're right. I've never slipped it in someone's ass the first time, for sure.
You don't.
That's
what I'm saying. You don't just slip it in.
I've never experienced
without
a virgin ass. Yeah,
having a conversation about some because you don't just slip a dick in the ass unless that's what she do, and if that's what she do, then that's available to you, and you probably already know that anyway. But I'm saying things have a what we call a step process to it, to where you graduate to a level beyond. Because if one thing's okay, if you're able to put your thumb in her ass and she's not having a conversation, you don't need a conversation. You feel the body movement in agreement with that, then you can put your dick in there. But you're not just fucking being like getting doggy style and then I'm going in your ass. I mean, it's just it depends on the type of bitch you got. I guess you know what I'm saying. It's all relative, So I don't want to talk about ass play too long, but physical touch is something that is, and I answered Bruno's question in text, but I kind of want to discuss it a little bit. He asked me, should I bring it up, kissing, before he kisses? I don't agree with asking permission, if that's what your question is. If your question is asking, about kissing, I'm saying talk.
No, sir.
I'm saying talk about it, meaning have it as a discussion piece, and then you can playfully say, you know what, you're talking all this shit about how good you are in kissing. I mean, I'm a pretty good judge because I am actually a great kisser. Let's see what all the hype is about. And you just go for it right then, right there. You don't have to ask permission. You're talking about it, but you're not asking permission for it, right? The moment is there, and when the moment is there, you take it. If you have to ask for it, now, I've seen it where if she has high interest, she'll let you get away with it, but she won't let you get away with that again. Like, you can't keep doing it. You can't keep asking for permission, one. You can't keep trying to let it be okay to be a man in the moment. Like, can I be a man right now and just kiss you because I'm feeling this moment and I want to do that and grab you, by the back of your neck and head and pull you towards me? Like, that's taking control of what you want. You see what you want, you go for it. And again, we talk about, boundaries, shit like that. We're not talking about the what ifs right now. We're just talking about in the moment. You can tell, Bruno also said that he can't really read body language, so he's kind of wanting to go into it verbally versus body language. When you want to take that one? Because a lot of my thing is body language, and I don't know if I can verbally do it without reading body language cues.
It's tough, right?
Yeah, it's because that's really big for me. Because body language, your body tells you a lot about what you are wanting versus what your words are. Because she can tell you, no, Bruno, and if she tell you like that, I'm sorry, that's not a no. It's not a fucking no. It's a no. Don't make me feel the way I'm feeling because I'm really feeling you right now.
Right.
That's what that no, Bruno, sound like.
And it's also, there was a comedian, and forgive me because I can't remember the comedian that brought this up, but he was like, no means no is the internet shit, right? No means no. And it's like, yes, any woman that says no, it means no. And he goes, nah, it's not true. Because there's a big difference between women going, no, don't do that.
Oh, yeah. That's a definite
and
no.
there's like, no, stop it.
Right.
And this is a real communication,
Yeah.
right? It means no for now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not opposed to this in the future, but you have not gotten me warmed up yet. So keep working.
That
right?
If you go back up, right there, go back right there. She does that a lot in that video right there, where she is telling this guy no and stop it and all that, and he's like,
and this is Key and Peele,
yeah.
The Best of Megan and Andre.
Yes.
And by the way, I have not seen it.
Man, it is hilarious.
I was looking for a video for our next segment, and it was the video of that I sent in a question to Jake Maddock, and I thought it would be perfect for our next segment. That's what I was looking for.
Man, that was so long ago, right?
But it's still so funny.
Yeah.
It's still
you're not
still
gonna
so
you're not
funny.
gonna find that scrolling. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You don't think so?
No, it's too long ago.
Let's get to our next segment, Anthony. It's this segment of You're Sexist. And this is what a lot of our guys are going to they're going to encounter. If they talk about what they really, really think, and they're honest, like I can be with my wife, be very honest about what the fuck I think 24/7. When you start to bounce red pill ideas off of women, you're sexist. If that shuts you down, you're not going to go very far. You're not going to go very far at all. So I'm going to go to a text thread. I'm sorry, a Facebook thread, Anthony, and you're going to be able to get to react to this for the first time. I purposely kept this from you. So Jake Maddock, he says, why do people cheat? And he has the emojis of the thinking emoji with hand on the chin. And so he says, why do people cheat? And then I answered. I said, for men, they don't get sex on the frequency they want. And I said, in quotes, but I've got a headache. Ladies, what if your cook for lunch randomly claimed he got a headache and you could not eat? You wouldn't die, but you would start to get sick and tired of not eating lunch every day. This is what men deal with and begin to wander. And wander with an A. They begin to wander. Ladies, there is, and you can't understand this. You can't understand men's physical need for sex. The only way I can make you understand men's physical need for sex is every day at noon, there's something that happens to your body and you want to fucking eat. But what if, like, you went to go eat and then the person that's, like, supposed to give you food, like, nah, I don't feel like, no, I don't feel like, and then their attitude to you is like, don't get mad at me. You're not going to fucking die. You're not going to die if you don't eat lunch. Don't get fucking mad at me. and your physical needs are not being met. And the cook is right. The chef or cook is right. You're not going to die. But God damn it fucking pisses you off, doesn't it? Ladies. I think ladies even have a fucking term for it. I'm hangry. Which is hungry and angry combined into one word. So, Anthony, that's what I said on this thread. Anything there that sounds irrational so far?
No, you gave an analogy that plays into you want something you can't have because someone is giving you an excuse of why you can't have it. And then you said, well, yeah, it's true.
Isn't prioritizing your physical needs? This is a very Western idea where women are just like, I don't give a fuck about your physical needs because I don't give a fuck.
Well, it goes into what we were discussing earlier, how men love differently than women. And the thing is, like, if you're a woman and you want to keep your man around and you think that sex is not going to be a part of that, me for one, in the relationship that I'm in, sex is a part of that relationship. If sex is not a part of the relationship, I'm not in a relationship.
Right.
So
that's called the friend zone.
It's your choice to give or not to give, but understand you're not going to be in a relationship with me not giving me sex, because I will have sex. It's not going to be with you, obviously, because that's your choice. You are the gatekeeper of sex. I understand it. However, you don't get access to me because I don't have access to you. You can't just deny me and still want from me. That's still... This comedian said it perfectly. I know it could be sensitive, but he said, woman's talking to me and I ain't want her talking to me and she just keep talking to me. Woman, you are raping my ears.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, you're taking from someone without providing anything back in return. You're taking your what we call them, succubus.
Succubus.
You are draining from that person without reciprocating anything back into them. You cannot call yourself in a relationship at that point.
What's weird is my response to this is very tame as far as this podcast goes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I'll repeat what I said. For men, they don't get sex on frequency that they want. Open quotes. But I've got a headache. Close quotes. Ladies, what if your cook for lunch randomly claimed he got a headache and you couldn't eat? You wouldn't die, but you would start to get sick and tired of not eating lunch every day. This is what men deal with, and they begin to wander with an A.
Okay.
So here comes Monique. And by the way, it's very appropriate that her name's Monique. Because nothing is more white and blonde and entitled than that fucking name. I'm sorry, Monique. Do you see Monique here?
Yeah.
And she says, this is... So people are asking a question. And I want you guys to notice when women ask a question, and this wasn't a woman, by the way, but this is what happens. Anthony, you had a video from me where a woman was like, why do men do this? And then he answers, but hold on. And then there was a mediator there. I can't remember her name, but she was like, okay, you asked a question. He gave you the answer. And now you're making it where, like, the answer's wrong. You're not listening to the fucking answer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to, like, drop knowledge here. This is why a lot of men cheat. Because every day at lunch, the fucking cook doesn't want to cook. Now, I'm not going to die. But I have a physical need that's not being met. There's these loads that are building up in my fucking balls. And it's building up every fucking day. And these fucking women give zero fucks when they're in relationships with you. And this is something this is something I've always gone through, and I'll never go through again. My wonderful wife does not make me go through this. Monique, our blonde-haired princess, comes in and says, Wesley, this is absolute crap. Firstly, eating is a need. Eating is a need. You getting your load off isn't. 100%. I'm going to stop you, Monique. That is not true. Try not dropping a load. If you're a fucking man, try not dropping a load and see what fucking happens. It'll be like you grab an automatic weapon and shoot up a whole fucking city. No laugh track. No laugh track, motherfuckers. This isn't a joke. Men have a physical need for sex. Am I wrong on this, Anthony?
I don't think so. I just think, I mean...
Is it wrong that I'm comparing it to eating? Like, you have a physical need to eat.
No.
But we're eating every day. It's not like you're going to starve to death if you miss a meal, right?
I think the problem is people equate eating to 2 to 3 meals a day. So that's 21 times a week. So sex 21 times a week in their mind is excessive.
But I only compared it to lunch.
But I understand. I understand, but I'm trying to even it out. But it's hard. It's hard to do with someone who only sees it in their eyes.
Yeah,
but,
and they're locked in, right?
Yeah.
They're locked in. They don't fucking care that once you're in a monogamous relationship, you are literally not allowed to have sex with anyone else. So the only fucking place that I can get lunch is at your restaurant.
Mm-hmm. We talked about this.
And if you decide not to cook that day because you got a headache, motherfucker, listen to me. If I owned a restaurant and I got a headache and I shut it down for lunch, every time I fucking had a headache, my restaurant would not fucking survive.
No.
I shut down my restaurant for lunch whenever I fucking have a headache. You know, breakfast and dinner were always open. But lunch is kind of like, I don't know how I'm feeling that day. We'll figure it out. That's what I'm comparing it to is lunch.
So
let's just say you get breakfast and dinner automatic, right? But lunch is decided by this one person, and then you don't know when the fuck it's going to happen ever. Like, do I get to eat today? I'm not really sure. You know,
I
like,
wouldn't want that at all.
We would not frequent that restaurant, would we? Be like, man, fuck this shit, dude. I don't know when the fuck that restaurant's open for lunch. I don't know, man, fuck that shit. But when you're only allowed to eat at that restaurant, this is when men begin to wander. And I'm just trying to tell her this. And this is when Monique comes in and says, Wesley, this is absolute crap. Firstly, eating is a need. You getting your load off isn't, which we just debunked.
Lies.
If I got hungry enough, I'd feed myself. I guess she's talking about masturbation. Mm-hmm. Masturbation is not the same as... What was our first segment over?
I masturbate in a relationship because I still
need more fucking loads dropped. Yes. My wife is amazing. My wife has turned me down 0 times in our entire relationship for sex, and I still masturbate. Ladies, this is a real fucking thing. This is how many loads have to be dropped off for men. Okay? So in our first segment, we talked about the importance of human contact, human touch. Like, look, masturbation is not the same thing as sex. So she says, if I got hungry enough, I'd feed myself. Same goes for sex. Secondly, I love how this implies only women cheat and it's all our fault. I don't know what the
Where
fuck
that came
means.
from.
Yeah, that's out of left field.
That's some hit dog holler shit where
I'm like, what? Nobody said that.
I was about to say you didn't have this is that fucking women.
See you talk.
Argumentary.
You're like me. You talk to mainly intelligent people. So when you see this kind of shit, you're like, oh my God, I forgot this shit exists.
Yeah, that's horrible, man. I don't even know where to go with that because now you changed the conversation.
Yeah, she's completely changed the conversation. Now, I want you guys to remember this sentence for this segment. She says, I was giving my partner sex at least once a day, sometimes more, and he still felt the need to cheat with my best friend. Now, I want you guys to remember her saying, I was giving my partner sex at least once a day. Okay? Because that's going to come up later here in this conversation. Okay?
Oh, damn, you got... Okay.
Oh, we've got a lot here.
Oh, shit.
And then I come in and say, Monique, this is very typical of women. You ask a question and only listen to the answer if you like it. Later, you'll wonder why the same shit keeps happening to you. And then I come in and I put a post in there and it says, women, what color is the sky? Me, the sky is blue. Women, that's bullshit. Only an asshole would say something like that. Random white knight. The sky is whatever color you think it is, Your Highness. Women, that's the answer I wanted to hear. Thank you. And then I put, oftentimes I wonder why women ask anything at all. I'm starting to suspect that they're seeking affirmation and not information. Facts. So then she comes in to reply, Wesley, you're so revolting. It's people like you who think that cheating is okay because the other party made you do it. Oh, I cheated because you made me. I feel extremely sorry for any female who crosses your sexist path. Next time, if you're hungry, feed yourself instead of asking someone else to cook for you. Laugh emoji.
That is so dumb. How young is this shit?
Anthony wanted to jump in quick on that one. That's so dumb.
It's dumb, man. Like, first of all...
Why was I sexist? Because it fits her narrative.
I was just about to say that when someone doesn't like where your conversation is going, they change the narrative because they can't speak to what you said, so they gotta change the topic to completely something else, so they can talk about that. And if you're and you're on the internet, so it's different than face to face. Some guys get lost in the
sauce.
Yes, because they're worried about wait, where are you going with that? I never said that. And then they're seeing
now they have to defend shit they never said.
Right. now it's like I wasn't even talking about that. Then it gets 5 minutes of the conversation, you and forgot what the fuck you were talking about because
you got to defend something you never said.
And multiple things. They'll throw so much. You know how this is what debaters do.
I never said Smurfs were purple. Wait, hold on a second.
Women are so good at manipulation, so they know how to throw out so much at you at once, so that when you're having a conversation, you gotta fucking attack all these darts being thrown at you instead of focusing on her. You gotta block all these fucking false darts that's being thrown. So it's like, look, I didn't say anything sexist. One, I didn't say it was you only, and you brought up some shit that I didn't even talk about. So I gotta talk about I'm either gonna ignore that, and then they'll point to you didn't even answer this. So if you ain't answered that, you must be guilty of it because you ignored it. And so much shit can happen in those conversations if you're not willing to. But what we talked about in last podcast or the podcast before that when a woman gets emotional and goes on these roller coasters of emotions, you let that bitch ride. Let her get off of her fucking emotions before you have a conversation with her. Otherwise, you're going to be dealing with shit like this, talking about shit that has nothing to do with what the issue is.
Well, we talk about specifics on this podcast, right? So let's unpack it, right? You're soul revolting, she says. So we're not debating ideas anymore. She's just going to throw insults because she doesn't like my answer, right? Keep in mind, guys, as we go through this, she gave her man sex every day, sometimes more.
That sounds like a lie to me.
Because that's what men do, right? We typically cheat on women that give us sex every day.
And let's say she did. Let's say she's being
for
honest.
The sake of argument, right?
Let's say she's being honest.
Yeah.
Let's also understand that she doesn't enjoy giving it.
Can you repeat that, please?
She doesn't enjoy giving it because it sounds like a whole chore.
That's worse than masturbation.
Yeah.
Because when you're imagining something in your mind while you're masturbating, that bitch is calling you daddy and she wants you. And this bitch that just like, all right, fine.
Here's some pity sex.
Here's some titty sex.
Some pity sex.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I was going to a more positive.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's titty sex.
I was about to say that's more enjoyable than pity sex for real.
I thought she was giving me pity titty sex. Damn it!
No.
Hey, by the way, hashtag pity titty sex.
That's trending on Twitter. It's gonna be trend. No, pity sex is horrible, man. No one wants that. No one wants.
It fucks up your confidence too, doesn't it?
No one wants sex that seems like a chore. She was like, okay, and she's laying there like a dead fish. I literally will go soft on a bitch if she just lay there. I can't do it. It has to be a little bit more than you laying there, and I gotta be the one initiating all the excitement in this interaction. I know how to get you riled up, so I don't see that being a problem for me. But there's no fucking way, no possible way that sex is gonna end up on some level. I don't take pity sex anyway. You're not gonna just offer that to me because you know that's what I want, and then you're like, fuck it, here. I don't want it. I don't want that. And I don't think any self-respecting man would. Some man might take it and like, fuck it, I'm gonna take it. I need it. I'll take it. But he'll still cheat on your ass. He still would cheat on you because someone else is a lot more exciting than what you're offering.
So she says, it's people like you who thinks cheating is okay. By the way, never said that. I don't think cheating is okay. I think it's sneaky. I think cheating, anything sneaky is beta to me. Because the other party made you do it. Nobody said that either. Nobody said anything made me do something. Oh, I cheated because you made me. I feel extremely sorry for any female who crosses your sexist path. Next time, if you're hungry, feed yourself. Masturbation, right? Instead of asking someone else to cook for you. So she's talking about, like, in a relationship, you should just masturbate.
Wow.
If your spouse turns you down. No, I'm just saying, Anthony, am I over speaking? Or that's what she's saying, right? Or
yeah, it's dumb, though. Like, it's so dumb.
This is what Western women do. By the way, I believe this girl is Australian. And Australia is almost as Western as it gets. So, I will give you guys my reply to this. And I said, never said or thought cheating is okay. My beautiful wife and daughter cross, and I use quotes here, cross my path daily and don't find me sexist. However, I will share with you something that I'm teaching my daughter. I'm teaching her that women are not above criticism. I'm teaching her that women aren't to be worshipped simply because they're women. I'm teaching my daughter that she'll be judged on her accomplishments and merit in life. Not some sense of entitlement within just because they think it. Most importantly, I'm teaching her that you win debates with ideas, not by name calling and labels such as sexist.
Mic drop.
That was a mic drop. And by the way, that got a lot. That even got a hug emoji from someone in there. They were like, whoa, this dude's dropping some truth. And Anthony, the reason I think that's important, that people were liking and giving the hug emoji, is because what do we usually see? White knights coming in, hey, women, this girl's super attractive, and I want to fuck her. So don't you dare say nothing to her that'll make her feel bad about herself.
Why do you sound like you from Mississippi?
I don't know. I feel like all these white knights are from Mississippi and Georgia. I don't know why. Man, don't you goddamn dare say that to her. My name is Timmy Timkins from Arkansas. And here in Little Rock, we treat women with respect.
Timmy.
Oh, there, Timmy. Yeah. and of course,
man, this shit's still going?
It's still going. She comes back and she says, Wesley, you should teach your daughter. I told you guys to remember, she gave her man sex every day, right? I want you to ask yourself, if this chick...
That was a lie. You know that was a lie, bro.
Well, we knew it was a fucking lie. Because I've dated a shit ton of women. I've been in good relationships.
And nobody gave me sex every day.
Yeah.
None of them.
Yeah, the only woman that has ever given me sex anytime I want it is my current wife.
Well, I'm not saying...
And I've been in great relationships.
I'm not saying when you want it. I'm saying every day, she said. She said every day, at least once.
Once or more. Now, we're going to start to see, it doesn't seem like that's what the reality is.
Right.
So, our friend Monique says...
Why you hide this from me, by the way?
Well, because I want your genuine reaction.
All right.
I wanted this for the program. Because I can already see how fired up you're getting.
Well,
I wanted them to see the organic like reaction from Anthony.
Okay.
Like, so our friend Monique says, Wesley, you should teach your daughter that just because someone wants it, it doesn't make it her responsibility to give it! Exclamation point. Poor kid is going to grow up thinking that if her boyfriend want sex, then she has to give it regardless of how she feels, and if she doesn't, then he will go cheat on her, and it will be her fault. Let's stop right there. Is that what I'm teaching my daughter?
I want to
with your broken ass English, Monique.
I want to point something out. With her first, what you should teach your daughter. I'm sorry. Relationships are about giving. They're not about taking.
Do you mind repeating that?
Relationships are about giving and not taking.
Thank you.
If you
love is all about showing up to give.
Yeah,
right.
If you're in a relationship and you're unwilling to give, then stay out of relationships. Because yes, go ahead, cook for yourself, bitch. Because again,
flick that mean all day. Hang out with your cats.
Yeah, I mean, this is to know that sex is an actual need for men. I was talking to a chick.
Wait a second, Anthony. According to Monique,
it's not.
You need to eat.
Right.
You don't need to drop your loads.
Well,
this is what they fucking think, Anthony. I'm just pointing this out.
Monique is a dumb bitch, and I can't deal with that bitch. Like,
how many women think it's a need for men to have sex? And I'm just saying conservatively.
The smart ones do. Like
the smart. But hold on a second. God damn it! You said something brilliant again. The smart ones always fucking know. Mm-hmm. My wife knows. Like, maybe I don't want to have sex right now, But in 20 seconds, I'll want to have sex because his dick is in me. My wife is smart enough to know that. Like, I don't want to have sex right now. Dude, God damn it, my fucking awesome wife. And by the way, if you weren't here for the bourbon tasting earlier, I just got to give this bitch credit. It could be the middle of the fucking night and our baby is in bed with us. And I just grab her ass and I'm just like, I want to have sex right now. My wife is as Patrice O'Neill says, my wife is a fucking soldier. She's like, well, man wants to fuck. He's the leader of the family. He's the captain of this boat. Let's go. And you guys have no idea how fucking amazing this bitch is. What was the experience we had when you walked in? She was talking about these fucking surgeries that she was in.
Yeah, I had a rough day.
They had emergency surgeries and shit. I could go in there right now and she'd be like, well, my man wants to fuck. Let's get it together. These are soldiers. Why the fuck, Anthony, have we not bred these dumb Moniques out of society yet? Why have we not bred them out of society?
Because she has a face.
You saw her face. She's pretty. She's
has
a pretty girl.
Face.
Yeah.
So she can get away with shit like that.
Yep.
Men are gonna
she's blonde.
White knight for her.
Yep.
Because they want to put a dick inside her. But she's saying to you guys that she don't want that. So why would you white knight for her? Well, because you are a man that don't have abundance and you see an opening that she's against a guy. So now you're going to be like, well, I agree with you, woman. So don't put me in his category. Put me in a good category and spread your legs for me, please.
And she identified that the husband slept with her best friend.
Well, and listen, how is she your best friend?
Bruh.
How is she your best friend?
What universe
your best friend?
Would I sleep with your chick in?
Zero.
You are my best friend. And what universe would I ever fucking hit on your chick?
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
I had a close friend. So we'll go sidebar here. I had a close friend who I was really into his chick. Really into his chick. And I felt so fucking guilty about this shit. Because every time I hung out with her, there was just this fucking oozing sexual chemistry. And I thought maybe it was only one-sided. And she was just, it was just this oozing sexual chemistry. But he was just such a close friend. And my personal constitution is, if you and I are friends, you don't even have to be my best friend like Anthony. If you and I are friends, I will not fuck with your bitch. But this one was really hard. This one was really, really hard. And then...
No pun intended.
Maybe there was a pun intended. And then and this was back in my San Antonio days, me and this chick ended up going to... It was like my wife was out of town and he was working there, and we ended up like going out to have a drink because we were going to meet with my friend afterwards. And my wife at the time was cocktail waitressing at a strip club. So it wasn't unusual for me to go to the strip club because I kind of had hookups. I kind of had like hookups on drinks and shit like that.
Yeah.
And let's fucking be honest, there's naked bitches there. Why wouldn't you want to fucking be there, right?
Free drinks, free titties. I mean...
Exactly. During this night, with a stripper like sitting in my lap, because again, it was someone that my wife knew. I was also young, and I cheated on my wife a shit ton of times. But never physically. I never put my dick in anybody. But I still consider it cheating if you're having this emotional thing, texting and pictures and things like that. Sometimes kissing, but I still consider it infidelity. But there was a stripper in my lap because she wanted to be similar to Monique's friend here. She wanted to dominate every man in her environment. That's what women want, guys. They want to know every guy wants to fuck them. in their environment, right? And there was a stripper on my lap, and she was like, God, and she was playing with my hair, and she goes, God, I don't know why he won't, like, take my number and call me back. Yeah, it's because my wife works with you, bitch. But she was like, I don't know why he won't, like, take my number and call me back and stuff. And then my friend's girlfriend sitting next to me, she was like, I know. I keep trying to tell him nobody needs to know, and he just doesn't get it. So she was trying to, like, hook it up that night. You know what I did? I went and dropped that bitch off at my friend's work. He wasn't even off work yet, and I was like, no more, sir. I'm not going to break my First Amendment of my own personal constitution. I'm not going to fuck with my friend's chick. And I wanted to fuck the shit out of this chick, too. And she confirmed that we could do it in secret. And it was that one moment. By the way, no bullshit, Anthony. No bullshit. This chick is dead now.
What?
She died of a cocaine overdose. No bullshit. No bullshit. So this is probably something I could have gotten away with scot-free, and I still don't care. And like I said, man, I'm giving you guys the honest, real deal. I wanted to fuck this chick so bad. There was this crazy oozing sexual tension between us. She put it out there like we could do it. I went and dropped that fucking bitch off at my friend's work, and I was like, we don't do that here. Yeah. And by the way, I had a lot of, like, emotional infidelities in that marriage. That was not one of them. I'm like, sorry, motherfucker. We are not fucking with my friend's shit. The reason I point that out is because look at how Monique's best friend did her shit. Dude, Anthony, let me ask you a point blank question. Do women really have best friends?
They have enablers.
This is what makes me really sad for women.
They have cheerleaders.
The friendship that you and I have. I don't even think this is possible for women to fucking, like, even enjoy. Like, I don't think this is even available to them. Women are just so fucking competitive for resources, which are men, right? Men are their resources. The only way that they can have shit and have their life be cool is from us, right? Unless they're, like, the top 0.001% of women, like Condoleezza Rice, who loves football so fucking much that she's now on the NCAA committee.
The playoff committee.
Yeah, the playoff committee. Thank you. I always correct your words. I'm glad you got one in on me. The committee. The committee. That's hard to say.
Sounds like a
STD.
Yeah, I got that committee.
STD.
I got that committee.
Man, I got that chlamydidity. Man, I caught that STD. Chlamydidity. But seriously, women can only have their life cool if men are part of it. And Monique here, her best friend, took her dude. How many times have you heard this? Women taking their best friend's man.
Well,
it's so common, right?
It's very common. Like I said, I said that before I was like, that wasn't your best friend, and if
that was not your best friend, she was only on your friend committedity.
she was not your best friend, and for you to claim that kind of shows you where you are. And one, either you can't choose men, you can't even choose friends. You know, so life is about choices a lot, and you made some poor choices. And the thing is when you gaslight conversations, with illegitimate, points that wasn't a part of the conversation. and you can't even connect them. I don't even know how you can even connect them.
There is no connecting the dots in this conversation.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
So, a lot of times, man, when you hear people talk about shit that had nothing to do with the conversation, there's a lot of projection going on, right?
Speaking of projection.
Oh, shit. See?
Here we go. Again, this is a girl who gave her man sex
this is you.
every day.
This is you, man. Like, I will bow out of a conversation when I see that.
This is not true. This is not true. Because I've made observations about, I'm like, wow, you're very nice to this bitch. You are giving her a lot of information. I would have bowed out.
Wait.
You and I have our bow
charity
outs.
cases. You have our charity cases.
No. I'm just saying that I bow out on certain things. You bow out on certain things, and it's just not the same things.
Okay.
Like for you, you're like, Jesus Christ, this bitch can't be saved.
Normally, I see a teaching moment. I don't see a teaching moment here.
Oh, it's coming.
Okay.
Oh, it's coming.
But she's delusional, though. Like, nothing that she said.
You didn't think that was a great teaching moment when I was like, however, I will share with you something that I'm teaching my daughter. I'm teaching her that women are not above criticism.
Did you hear her response, though?
Yeah,
like
and
her response
she's making even more assumptions. She says, boyfriend, you're teaching your daughter, boyfriend will have to have sex, give it to her regardless how she feels, and if she doesn't, then he will go and cheat on her. If she doesn't, then he will go and cheat on her, and it will be her fault. And then we'll go back to quotes here. I feel very sorry for her. Just so you know, women are not objects put on the earth to satisfy your needs. No, I don't think we are above criticism. I do think that if women have a headache or for whatever reason doesn't want to, then she shouldn't have to give sex with you because she's worried you will get your fix elsewhere. If I don't want to have sex at all, it's my decision and my body. If my partner doesn't like that, then they can leave. What I choose to do with my body does not give the guy a free pass to be unfaithful, is what she thought the response was. So wait, this is a bitch that gave her sex, her man sex more than once a day. It's starting to sound like a bitch that does not have sex ever. I don't know, Anthony, am I wrong in reading that?
No.
It's like she got real passionate about, like, I don't have to give my man sex every day. And by the way, I'm not the only person jumping in and critiquing her.
Yeah.
Our friend Nick Novak here. Thank you, brave soldier, by the way. It was me, Nick Novak, and a bunch of white fucking knights. And Nick Novak was like, seemed like there should have been some red flags in here and stuff like that.
I bet Monique wants men to buy her dinner when they go out for date. I bet she expects that shit.
Hold on a second. I disagree, Anthony. I bet Monique offers to pay on the first date.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Not this bitch.
Are you sure?
Maybe.
I think Monique is probably like, wait, let me go ahead and pay for this.
Yeah, all lies. All lies. And there's no way this bitch is going out on a date talking about, well, I make my own money, so I should pay for my own food. It's my body, my food. No.
My body, my food. Yeah. Wait, by the way, that should be these dumb bitches chant. My body, my food. So you need to pay for it. So then I come in and I go, Monique, keep doing what you're doing then, sweetie. It seems to me you have it all worked out and life's going well for you. Keep listening to people that are telling you what you want to hear and keep on getting the same results. I don't care. And then Monique comes in and says, okay, so if your wife isn't meeting your needs, then leave. I don't see how it's a woman's job to meet his needs. If I want a brand new car, it isn't my boyfriend's job to go get it for me. Is that true, Monique? Is that what you really think? It's not my boyfriend's job to go get it for me.
Well, who, okay.
Anyway, you're like, okay, let's just get through this.
Yes, please.
If I want my nails done every day, it isn't my boyfriend's job to pay for them. Just like if a guy wants to get his load off every day, it isn't a woman's responsibility to supply that, especially if it's something she doesn't want. Guys, again, I want to point out, this bitch was saying she was giving her man sex every day, more than once a day.
I want to put this bitch on Maury. The lie detector said that was a lie.
She comes in and says, Wesley, please don't act like you know everything about my relationships because I told you about one guy. And then she comes in and says, and by the way, I don't know what that was all about. And then she says, Wesley and Nick, all I'm trying to get across is that it is no one's responsibility to supply someone else's desire against their own. If I want to have sex but the guy doesn't, then I don't expect it, and it certainly doesn't give me a right to cheat, and vice versa. No one should have to do something that they don't want to do. Something that they don't want to because someone else wants it. And by the way, Monique, you're right. Do nothing. Get in a relationship and just sit in a chair and do nothing. Except sit there and drink water and protein bars. That's all you do is just sit in a fucking recliner and do nothing except feed yourself. That is your option. But it is also these men's options to get you the fuck out of their life.
Facts.
Motherfucker, this is like, I should be able to do what I want to do with my body.
But he shouldn't.
Right. He can't have sex with anybody else. Because he's cheating. Bitch, who the fuck is going to feed me lunch? This other cook over here, I'm sorry, a.k.a. your best friend, is fucking me whenever the fuck I want. Are you fucking insane? And this would be one of the, unfortunately, 18% of divorces that are initiated by men. Men putting up with women not feeding them lunch, a.k.a. sex. In this analogy, guys, in this analogy of you always get breakfast, you always get dinner, but that person feeding you lunch, we don't know if it's going to happen or not. Depends on how they feel. That's the perfect analogy for women turning down men for sex. Y'all act like it's not a fucking physical need.
I just wanted that to marinate.
Yeah, me too. Like
that's it's highly selfish. You can hear it in their responses. This person only thinks about herself. So anything that you say, anything that you were going to say, because you're enemy number one at this point, anything that you were going to say, anybody that agreed with you is her enemy now. So this lady is so caught up in her emotions, she can't even, absorb the information. So she's just flying high on her fucking emotions, and you're supposed to be on that roller coaster with her. Nope. You're just like, nope, ride that roller coaster if you want to. I'm still going to maintain. This is why I'll bow out of conversations like this, because I'll let them do whatever the fuck they want to do emotionally. You're not going to take me on that ride, right? Because and the reason I'm good at stopping that is because I'm empathetic as a person. So if if I'm around you while you're in your emotions, then I'm going to be in my fucking emotions. And me being a man in your life, I can't do that.
Well, Anthony, let's do some role play so that they know what the fuck we're talking about. I'm going to be the woman. You'll be the guy. I'm just going to ask you some questions. Anthony, How many legs does a cow have?
4.
You fucking asshole. I knew you were going to fucking say cows have 4 legs.
Why?
I don't fucking understand why the fuck you just said that. You're fucking sexist. Like, you just, like, walk around this world with this willy-nilly perception about, like, cows have 4 fucking legs. What? God damn it. Does anyone else, other than Anthony, can anyone else answer this question? How many legs do cows have? White Knight jumps in. I think cows have as many legs as you want them to have. Thank you so much. You're so fucking sweet. Yeah, I think cows have, like, their tail, to me, counts as, like, a 5th leg. And cows, so therefore, like, cows have 5 legs. You know, it's just, I don't know, like, why people can't see that. All right, Anthony, let's do another role play. Anthony, I'm trying to think of a good one. Anthony, do humans need water to live?
Yes.
You motherfucker. Dude, like, everyone thinks, like, water's so fucking essential, and you motherfuckers just think, like, oh my god, water's just so fucking amazing. And then this is what it's like when women ask questions, dude. It's like, if it's not the answer that they fucking want, this is the response you get. It's like, bitch, why are you asking questions if you don't want the fucking answers to the question? The sky is blue. You motherfucker. I knew you were going to fucking say that. You motherfucker.
And this is you, like, continuing to have a conversation with us. That's why I'm like, why?
Anthony's like, that's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah.
That's what that fucking sounds like.
There's no way I'm going to continue having a conversation with someone like with this. Like, there is no penetrating that at all. When I can see, when someone's having a genuine question, they may be misguided, but if they have a genuine question and they are genuinely giving answers, that's not emotional. You may not be able to not be emotional. It might be your thing, but if I'm going to have a conversation with you, it's about, laying out, just a different aspect or a different thing that you may not have experience in. She looks young too, so she may not have a lot of experience.
Well, women have learned, if you just drop the sexist thing,
you're supposed to go away.
Then you win the argument.
Yeah, you're supposed to go away.
You win the argument. Like, no, there's no reason. And the reason that this is a segment, guys, is because a lot of you red pill guys, you're going to say something and they're going to test your fortitude. And they're going to say, like, you're sexist. This is sexist. Because, by the way, guys, red pill knowledge is not mainstream. It's not mainstream. Red pill knowledge is just like, this is brand new. I mean, Patrice O'Neal started this after the year 2000, right, Anthony? I mean, when did the Black Phillip show start?
It was in the 2000s, yeah.
I'm just saying, I mean, red pill knowledge and intergender dynamics this is very, very new. This is kind of like when you communicate this shit to other people, this is like Galileo trying to convince people that the universe, that our current galaxy revolves around the main star here, the sun. And they're like, look, motherfucker, the Bible tells us that the earth is the center. By the way, Anthony, it wasn't until the 1990s that the Catholic Church finally admitted that the Earth is not the center of our galaxy.
Wow.
I'm not making this up. So what you guys are experiencing on this program, it's new information. So you're going to hear "you're sexist" a lot. A lot. And then when you say something that they don't agree with, so you just think cheating's okay, huh, Wesley? And you saw my response. No. I think cheating's sneaky, and I think that's beta.
Remember when you were saying we were having a discussion about The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan Chicago Bull thing, and you talking about the flu game?
Such a good story.
You
I'm
like,
sorry.
The Michael Jordan flu game, and I'm like, well, we learned that it wasn't the flu. He had food poisoning from pizza. And he was like, well, we all know about the flu game, so why would we change it because it's known about the flu game? I'm like, look, we got new information. Why would I keep going with bad information when we have new information that's more accurate? So no longer is it the flu game.
I love that. You know, and I had to go, you know what? You're fucking right. Yeah. You're like, well, hey, we got new information. We don't have to still call it the flu game. And those are the moments in life, Anthony, I love being wrong. I really do. I really love being wrong because I'm like, motherfucker, you're right. We have new information. Why can't we call this Michael Jordan game Pizzagate? Because we know he was intentionally food poisoned with a pizza. You're like, well, hold on, man. We don't have to call it the fucking flu game. We have new information. And but again, we're guys. Sometimes it seems like to me, Anthony, women can't be reached just with rational shit. This bitch was obviously cheated on with her husband, with her best friend. And then I try to tell her something, and she doesn't like it. So she's like, nah, fuck that. That was fucking stupid. The sky's not blue. One time I was out on the ocean and the sky was red. The sky's always red. Fuck that. Sky's red. That's what this fucking bitch sounds like to me. No, bitch. Mainly the sky is blue. Man, fuck you. You're sexist. It's fucking frustrating. It's frustrating when just calling somebody sexist because women, for some reason, in 2020, think that they are above criticism. They're above reproach. That they're some sort of protected, endangered species. It's fucking insane to me, dude. Because women clearly do a lot of fucked up shit. And women, while you're trying to feign that you're the fucking victim in this shit, again, we'd like to point out that in the United States, 82% of divorces are initiated by women. So stop acting like the fucking victim over here. And by the way, let's be full disclosure. Anthony, if a woman is a victim of physical abuse, should she be able to file for divorce?
Yeah.
Anthony, if a woman's a victim of constant daily verbal abuse, should she be able to get a divorce?
Yeah, sure.
So stop. That's how we feel on this podcast. We're not talking about obvious victims, but 82% of women are not getting verbally and physically abused every day. You hypergamous hoes know what the fuck you're doing. Was that extreme?
It was a little bit over the top.
Let me rephrase what I said. You hypergamous bitches know what the fuck you're doing. All right, I feel better. I don't like calling women hoes. I don't like suggesting that they choose men because of money.
I wanted to touch something. I wanted to touch something I forgot to mention. And you asked me to talk about it, and I totally forgot because I looked away from my notes. When we were talking about skipping seduction in our first segment. Or is that our third?
No. This is our. Why don't we go? And by the way, your timeline is perfect.
Okay.
We're right here.
Okay.
At the 2-hour moment.
I'm glad I didn't skip it then.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So this last segment is about skipping seduction. And we were saying in the beginning of the podcast, this is going to be the meat and potatoes of tonight's podcast. If you've stuck around, we appreciate it because this is so important. Anthony, go to your notes here. This segment is all about skipping seduction. And guys, this is a rookie mistake and it's a veteran mistake. And guys, this applies to whether you're dating or whether you're in a relationship. Skipping seduction is one of the most easy, obvious mistakes for men at all levels. Rookie, novice, veteran, got a 5-girl rotation or got no girl rotation, you're married, you're in a monogamous relationship. Skipping seduction is going to fuck up your life no matter what level you're at. And Anthony, we talked about this being the meat and potatoes of this podcast. You said you had something in your notes that was really important about this.
I didn't want to talk about it directly because I kind of wanted to be in the flow of the conversation. But when I talk about seducing a woman, I'm talking about penetrating her mind first. I'm not worried about penetrating her body because once I penetrate her mind, the body will follow. And you can't imagine trying to be physically with someone without having their mental ready for that physicality. Okay, so the reason you can be open with when we talked about this in the first segment about introducing kissing as a topic, but yeah, physically you're gonna kiss her. That's what you want to do, but you're opening up her mind to kissing by talking about it, right? So she's thinking about when she kissed, when she, how she kissed, right? And women love to be challenged a little bit when it comes to. Doesn't seem like you're a really good kisser the way you're talking about kissing. I probably could teach you a thing of 5 because
a thing or 5
because you seem a little basic in your kissing skills the way you're describing it. Maybe you just don't know how to describe it. You should do a lot more showing than telling right now. You know that you just
or the way you're flirting with me right now makes me think you should kiss. You should kiss my wife first so that she can tell me whether or not you're a good kisser, and then we can move forward from there.
However you want to do it, it goes with the flow of the conversation. That's why you shouldn't. That's why when guys ask me what should I say specifically, I get pissed off, man, because it's like, be a part of the conversation you're in. Don't be waiting for to pull out a quip. You know what I'm saying? It's like
this is like how guys got obsessed with pickup lines.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
because they think that this guy just has all the perfect pickup lines in his head. All he's doing is using the moment and the environment that he's in, and that's it.
Perfect example tonight. We were talking to my friend Jay, and we were having a bourbon tasting, right? And we were talking about rye whiskeys. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I keep saying I don't like ryes, but we've had such good ryes recently. I don't want to be a racist. I didn't sit down and write down rye whiskey, racist. Like, I don't want to be a racist. And my friend was like, Jesus Christ, if that was from the hip, that was fucking brilliant, especially given the times that we're in right now.
Yeah.
And you told him, you were like, that was 100% from the hip, man. We're not here rehearsing shit.
Right.
But it was very much like, this is my personality. I'm not afraid. This is the thing I would say, Anthony. Being afraid to be yourself when you're out in public with women, it's very hard, isn't it? It's very hard at first.
If I was about to say, it's about being more comfortable with who you are versus trying to be comfortable around someone else or in public. It has nothing to do with them or her at all. It's all about you. So once you're comfortable with yourself, it doesn't matter who's not comfortable about with you. You can turn people around. Like, you can change their perspective or their viewpoint about you, long as you maintain your confidence. If you allow them to dictate you changing how you feel about yourself because you're confident, the thing is, a lot of people are jealous of people who are confident without feeling any social stress from others, right? Where he's like, damn, I live my life having to feeling approved by others. This person don't give a fuck. They wear purple and pink socks and they don't give a fuck. And they're like, this my shit. I love purple and pink socks. I love both colors. Why should I not be able to wear both? And it's too hot to wear purple and pink socks at the same time. So I'm going to wear one purple, one pink, because that's my life. And I love it. And the public, what can they say about that? Nothing. Shut the fuck up. It's my socks. It's my feet. Live your fucking life. It's not fucking your life up at all. This is about how I want to live mine. And some people are just jealous of that. So they want to put pressure on you to feel excluded because you're not wearing white socks or black socks or only pink socks or only purple socks. So that's the thing. Once you get over that mental obstacle of being judged by others, you can want and desire whatever the fuck you want and desire, and no one's gonna be able to change that about you. Like, if someone doesn't like me because because of who I like about me, I don't want them in my life anyway. Because why would I want someone that doesn't like me in my fucking circle, right?
We had this talk. I mean, this might have been like a month ago, but we had this talk. We were just like, why do people... We were talking specifically about identity politics, right? Mm-hmm. And we were like, why do people feel the need to be part of a team so much that they don't like really identify who they're voting for, right? And I was like, identity politics is just so strong. Like, if you're Republican, no matter what the Republicans do, you are Team Republican, no matter what the fuck they say. Or if you're a Democrat, no matter what the fuck they do, you are Team Democrat. What do they say on the Democratic side? No matter who, I'll vote blue.
Yeah.
No matter what's said, I vote red. And it's so... And so we were having this conversation because, Anthony, you are... Again, just like red pill stuff, you're far more educated on politics than I am, and I'm trying to get to your level. But you look across both sides, and you're so well informed. There's literally never a time that I've ever brought up anything political to you that you don't know about. Like, even though you don't follow the NFL, mm-hmm. I'll be like, yeah, this happened with the Kansas City Chiefs. You're like, well, yeah, but then this too, and I'm like, I thought you didn't watch NFL football. You're like, I don't. But I knew about that shit. But it's kind of like that with politics, too. And I was like, Anthony, why do people just blindlessly follow a Democrat or a Republican side? And I'll never forget what you said, because it really affected me. You said, because people don't feel strong enough to stand alone.
Facts. Yep.
I'll never forget that. It had such a huge impact on me. You're like, people just don't feel strong enough to stand alone. They don't, in other words, they don't feel confident enough about themselves to be able to be like, I stand alone. You know, I told that story earlier where my friend's girlfriend obviously came on to me. Mm-hmm. My wife wasn't home. My ex-wife now. She wasn't home. And by the way, just so you guys know about that story, before that girl died of a cocaine overdose, she slept with some of my friends.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's why they broke up, by the way. Instead of showing up to New Year's Eve with my friend because they were in a relationship.
So she's just a bad person.
She's a bad person, right? And you don't want bad people around you. But what I'm trying to say is, I could have gotten away with sleeping with this chick that I had amazing sexual chemistry with, and she basically put out there, I want to sleep with you. right? And we could just do this and nobody will ever know. But I had the strength to stand alone. Most guys would just be like, I'm just going to fucking take this vagina because it's what I want. Mm-hmm. I had the strength to stand alone and be like, no, my personal constitution, I'm not going to fucking do this, man. And Anthony, and again, you have a way of orating things that really just fucking hits me right in the jaw. It is hard, right? It's hard to stand alone when everybody else, like people that don't know about red pill knowledge, and we have this girl Monique that's just saying shit like, "You're sexist." It's easier for me to be confident because I have a daughter, I have a beautiful wife. They're both women. I know I'm not anti-women. Mm-hmm. You know, it's easier for me to do that. It's also easier to do it because I don't stand alone. I have my best friend Anthony here, and we do a podcast about this every week. But Anthony, it's really fucking hard for these guys to stand alone, isn't it? Standing alone is hard.
Yeah, it takes courage. It takes the ability to, one, you got to absorb negative energy, and then keep moving. Right, like you have to be able to not I'll say this: it doesn't. You don't have to absorb negative energy. It crosses your path, and you can decide what you want to do with it or not. But it takes a lot of endurance of your mind, to hear things about you that are in the best light, and you still feel the same way about yourself.
I just looked up because you said the word courage. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes we say things in life and it becomes so common that we don't think about the meanings of what they are. And courage here, it's noun. It's the ability, the definition of the word, the ability to do something that frightens one, and also strength in the face of pain or grief. And if you guys are living the red pill life, there's going to be people that give you pain and grief. Mm-hmm. And they're going to put labels on you like our friend Monique did. They're going to do that to you. And one of my favorite words on planet Earth is the word tenacity. And Anthony, I can already hear you nodding in my head because we're both military guys. And tenacity is the quality or fact of being able to grip something firmly. The quality or fact of continuing to exist. Persistence. Tenacity is a very, very powerful word. It means we're just going to keep this path, though we get called sexist, though we get called misogynist, though we get called whatever the fuck they want to call us, we stay on our path. Because, your words, Anthony, we're strong enough to stand alone if we have to. Now, hopefully this podcast gives people the strength to know that they're not alone.
I'm going to tell you, man, before I started talking to people about what I was doing, I felt alone a lot of the times, man. And it was hard doing that because, trust me, when you got a lot of blue pill guys around you that's telling you, that's looking at you kind of funny when you talk about the way you talk, and like think about the conversations we've had, and think about the times when you didn't believe what the fuck I was saying. You kind of was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Like, how many times?
Well, I'll be honest. I never had that moment.
I don't know. I don't know why you kept. I don't know why you kept doing what you was doing. But I remember when.
Well, that's a different segment, right?
Yeah.
But I'll be honest. There was never a time where I didn't believe you. I was just like, it was just kind of like, it was kind of like when you wake up in the morning and your vision's blurry, mm-hmm. and it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer, and you're like, whoa. What the fuck have I been doing this whole time?
Well, it's one thing when you've, I'll tell you like this. You knew me when I was getting divorced or in the process. Well, you knew me when I was married. You
Terrible.
Knew me when I was in the process of it and all that. So where I was then versus what I was evolving to, you end up moving to Austin. So I ain't see you a lot during that time. When you moved to Austin, I was definitely absorbing red pill, and I was out dating. I was doing the Triple H, and it was just one of the things that, and if you're just listening to this for the first time, is hanging out, having fun, and hooking up. So I'm doing the Triple H, and I'm enjoying that alone. I'm just doing that alone. It didn't happen easily. I had my red pill rage moments. I had a lot of doubts. I even thought about maybe just giving up and going back to that mentality. But when I for a smidgen thought that I would go back to my ex and live that lifestyle, because we've had the conversation. I'm going to tell you something, guys. It'll be women in your life that'll tell you you ain't shit. They'll be in your relationship, tell you that you ain't shit, you ain't about shit. But it's somewhere around some time that they find you again in a conversation, a text, a random see you in public moment, and they get this look about you and be like, damn, I miss him. I knew I provided value in that relationship. So,
what do you know retrospectively, or did you know at the time?
I knew both. I knew it in both ways. I just knew she was. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about specifics about that relationship. I'm just saying there are times when you're in a relationship that the women know your value, even though she tell you you don't have any. So when you're coming out of relationships and you think you need to go back to that relationship after who knows how many times you've tried to make it work, but now that it's over, and then they see you being more confident, being self-aware. Now there's something different about you, and they want to know what it is, and they're curious or whatever. But they'll come back and say, "Hey, can we try it again?" type of stuff, right? And in that moment, for me, it's easier because a child is involved. It's easier for me to be like, "Hey, well, I'm gonna do it for the kid, if nothing else." But I knew for a fact that it was gonna be to my detriment if I did. And when in a relationship where I had given her so much control, it was no way in hell that I was going to go back to that type of lifestyle, because I knew that I had fucked up too much to fix what we'll call a total vehicle. This vehicle was totaled out, and I'm trying to get all the parts and repair it. No fucking way. I'm not going to do it.
This is what I want to ask, because this segment is about seduction.
I'm sorry, and I went way.
No. I mean, this is all good stuff for everybody. Kind of, they can learn from our knowledge, right? But Anthony, talking about your last marriage, do you ever look back and go, "I stopped the seduction process"? Because I don't know the answer to this question. I'm not asking rhetorically. Could you look back and go, "I kind of quit seducing at some point"? Now, you don't have the knowledge now that you had back. I'm sorry, you didn't have the knowledge back then that you have now.
Right.
But if you look back, did you stop seducing, or?
Man, it's hard for me to say, because I tried to. I did choose not to. There were times in my mind when I said, "Nope, I'm not going to do it anymore." So I did, consciously do it. Unconsciously, I don't remember. Honestly, it's been a while. Mm-hmm. So I can't. If I think about it a little longer, I'll probably get back with you on it. But
that's an honest answer, right? I'm just saying, this is something you and I are so conscientious about now. The reason I ask is because when I think back on my failed marriage, and by the way, so happy that marriage failed because my wife now is so fucking amazing. I'm so glad to have my daughter and my current wife. No regrets whatsoever. But when I look back on my failed marriage, I'm just like, I didn't know any of this shit. You know what I mean? I didn't know any of this shit. I was just kind of walking around blind in the fucking world, feeling around in the fucking dark. It's fucking crazy. I mean, it's no wonder why marriages fail. You get no information on this shit. Yeah. And the information we give, which is the correct information, we're sexist. You know what I'm saying? Like,
anybody standing on a table to point and label someone else, it's crazy to me that it's okay to just fucking, tell somebody what they are, right? And then look for support after that. Like, you came to your conclusion in your head about what somebody is, and now you're like, yes, everyone now jump on board and agree with me now.
Yeah, it would be like, I've concluded that you are a marsupial. So you've got a duck bill, you lay eggs, you got a pouch that you put shit in, you can climb trees. It's like that. We saw that in that last segment where the girl was like, oh, so you just think it's okay to cheat on people and blah, 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 blah. Nope. Don't think it's okay to cheat on people. That's not what I think.
Is that a bad word for men, sexist? How bad of a word is that?
Well, none of us want to be on the bad team, right? Like in my house, nobody would want to be called like a Pittsburgh Steelers fan because that's just fucking terrible, isn't it? You're just a piece of shit fair weather fan that's never even stepped foot on Pittsburgh soil in your whole fucking life, and you're just this pussy motherfucking fair weather fan that just wants to fucking gravy train on this fucking team that's won all these championships because you're just a fucking fair weather fan. Wait, is that too much?
I was going to say, hey, Wesley, what I want you to do is just tell me how you really feel. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Pittsburgh Steelers fan. By the way, sidebar, I have a standing thing in any bar I go to. If you are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan from Pittsburgh, I will buy you the drink of your choice. I'm 42 years old. I've never had to buy anyone a drink.
Damn.
There's a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fan from Sacramento, California. You fucking fair weather fucks. I digress. I digress. Anthony, when it comes to seduction, I had something happen recently where I had a gal that was kind of flirtatious with me recently on Instagram. And I was like, hey, well, okay, time out. So I have a standing fucking order, kind of like what I was saying with my personal constitution with my friend Ryan. Can't believe I said his name out loud. Sorry about that, Ryan.
Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling.
Sorry. I said his last name.
If Ryan ever listens to this, I'm sorry, buddy. But Ryan has an amazing wife now and 2 wonderful children from a chick that did not have a cocaine overdose. Anyways, but I had a personal constitution moment with his ex where I was like, I'm not going to do this. I have a real personal constitution moment with chicks when they flirt with me. And guys, and this comes a lot from AMS. If you guys haven't checked out AMS's channel, please go check it out. Alpha Male Strategies. AMS preaches, do not give women validation. Do not give them validation. And my worst fear is that a woman flirts with me and I give her validation of like, she and I have a secret apart from my wife. That is no matter how drunk I am, no matter what drug I'm on, I never want bitches to think that they're somehow above or separate than my wife. Ever. It's a personal constitution moment. Now, if bitches want to come home with me, no problem. You just have to clear that shit with the wife. And if my wife don't like you, sorry, bitch. I'll go home and fuck my beautiful wife instead. Okay? Mm. So this happens to me a lot, Anthony, where women will flirt with me. And I'll be very direct with them. Like, well, I don't know. If my wife likes you, certainly we can bring you through. However, I've learned that just by saying that, and this is what I want your reaction to, just by saying that, like, I want to fuck you, but we got to clear this with the wife, it's giving them some weird validation, right? They're like, well, he wants to fuck me, so never mind. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as women get their validation, they don't want to fucking, they don't want to fuck, they don't want to go on a date, they just want to like, that feels good. So that's what I'm kind of struggling with, Anthony.
Man, I try to tell you.
Skipping the seduction process.
Women want that.
But also not wanting to do anything wrong in my marriage. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of tricky. So Anthony, give us, because you're in the dating world and you're constantly trying not to give women validation because we know it doesn't raise attraction, right?
Correct.
Come on, Anthony. Give us, I need this week. Give us some life hacks. No, I'm being serious. Give us some life hacks on not giving bitches validation. What you do, what you intentionally, more importantly, don't do when it comes to not skipping the seduction process.
Well, you stay away from physical compliments. That is
Jesus. Hold on. Now I'm listening hard.
Yeah.
You have to stay away from giving them physical compliments, right?
Yeah. You know Instagram is the fucking thirst trap for
Why do you say that?
Because come on, man. Shit. It's fucking thirst trap for blue pill and simps alike. It's so easy to fall into this. All I'm doing is giving her a like on her photo.
Dude, okay, can I sidebar to this?
So,
I never like bitches' photos on Instagram.
If you are out here doing it, stop it.
Guys.
Stop it, guys.
Now,
guys,
let me tell you.
Stop it.
Let me tell you what will get a like for me on Instagram. If your pet is doing some shit, 100%. If it's an animal, 100% will get a like. If your mother just defeated cancer and she's walking down we do real examples on this show, don't we?
Yeah.
This is a real example. Watching her mother, she defeated cancer. She feels well enough to walk down the stairs. 100% that's going to get a like from me. If you guys don't follow Instagram, the Instagram page, Nature is Metal, do it. It's the most dope Instagram page on fucking planet Earth. They get 100% likes from me because it's like real nature shit going down. And they'll show like just a lioness with like a zebra skull in its fucking mouth. It's like some of their shit gets taken down off Instagram because it's so fucking animal violent. But women just being pretty, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
No likes here. By the way, amendment number 3 in my personal constitution, you do not get a like just because you hot as fuck.
Nope.
You didn't do that. You know what? Time out. Let me back up. if you have worked out, and this goes for guys and girls, though. If you have worked out and you have sculpted your body due to working out and you're like a fitness person, but again, this is for guys and girls, and I'm 100% heterosexual, that gets me likes. Am I missing something, Anthony? Is there any other reason we should be liking these hoes photos on Instagram?
I'm glad you didn't say children, because women exploit children too, in that way, in ways. I'll say that
they'll be wearing like something really low cut, right? But they got a kid, and
I just hate seeing people put their kids out on fucking Instagram for the world to see. That has nothing to do with a family scenario, right?
I wish we could share, like on this podcast, I wish we could share the video. Me and my wife have a joke video where I'm just filming her titties. And I'm like, I just want to film my daughter. And she's like, stop, babe. I'm like, no, this is great. Like, my daughter's so pretty. And all you see is like my daughter's hand on my wife's titties, you know? And it's just like, no. But that's what these bitches do. I'm glad you pointed that out. Like, I'm going to have all my titties out really low, but I've got a kid, so you got to fucking like my shit. Yeah. Guys, women live off these likes like plants live off sunlight. Stop.
They surviving out here in these streets. Because you out here giving them validation, free validation.
Anthony, you are a wealth of knowledge. I want you to give us a great story of skipping seduction. I know you got probably 10 to pull.
Myself, that yes. I've done?
Where you skipped seduction and it was just like, what the fuck, man?
Oh, so, anytime you're with someone for that you know, for instance, let's say you've already had sex with them before.
Oh, this is so good. This is such a good example.
And you're like, hey, I want you to come over, do what you do, and then we'll have fun, we'll do all this. Well, setting up a date. One is not just about doing a place, a time, and now I ain't forgot the fucking a date, a place, and a time. I'm sorry.
Date, place, time.
Sorry. Yeah. It's more than that. It's more than that. Okay. You also have to do a little sale pitch of what's going to happen. Not exactly what's going on.
What do we call it on this podcast? Plausible deniability.
Right.
You don't want to make these bitches feel like they're hoes.
Yeah. If I invite you over and we have a rapport, if you will, with each other, and we've already been intimate before, but you feel like when I invite you over, that it's only gonna be about sex, and that's the only thing you have. You have a 50% flake rate, even though we've already been intimate. I've already earned some trust from you. Not seducing the moment of the interaction is part of them not being okay with physical touch. All this shit kind of just lines up together, man.
Can I give you a comment so far?
What's up?
Because it kind of correlates what you're saying. Ryan, by the way, in the live stream has been killing it tonight with his quotes. Ryan says, seduction and validation are not related. Seduction... Jesus, Ryan, I'm sorry. Seduction communicates intent, and validation is a form of submission. And Jesus Christ, what a good quote.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan, this is the first time, I'll be honest, because Ryan, I I look at him of one of my what did Jesus call it? Disciples. I consider Ryan one of my disciples. And then eventually your disciples get so fucking good that they say some shit that makes you think.
Yeah.
Yeah, validation is a form of submission, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a great take, Ryan.
It's just short of saying Your Highness. Like there's
Damn it.
there's
You
no
motherfuckers are fucking on a roll tonight.
Hold on.
I'm gonna do a pat. I'm gonna do a pat for Ryan on that one.
There's no way you'll find me validating someone. Now sometimes
it's really hard, isn't it?
I'll tell you. I'm about to say, man, some women make it very fucking difficult because
they're so fucking fine.
Well,
you want to observe.
No, not even physically. Not because the physical part is easy for me to avoid. I've avoided for years. It's easy for me to avoid that. Now, can I secretly be in awe of this bitch? Like, God damn, this bitch is fine. Yes, but I never give it to her.
Okay.
So
here's where we're at, Anthony. For a married guy that just wants to bring bitches home. That's the only requirement me and my wife have, is that she's hot. So it's really, really hard for us to be like, God damn, bitch, you fucking fine as hell. And giving that validation. Like, this is something brand new. Like, when you have an amazing unicorn wife, like I do, for some reason, it makes you cocky and you avoid seduction. Like, what my wife and I should be doing is going like,
women can do that.
Girl,
women,
what's up?
Women can validate women because that's what their natural communication is.
Jesus Christ.
This is why.
Why the fuck are you dropping so much knowledge on this podcast, Anthony?
Hold on.
You might want to pat yourself off again. No, you're so right. You have to when it comes to validation, I should let my wife take charge of that shit.
Yep.
God, you're so pretty.
Yep. It's easy for them. It's easy for them. It's nothing off your back to let her do it, because the thing is, she still needs to vet. And like, my thing is this: let's say your wife says, you know what, she's not hot like we wanted, but she's game and I'm into her. Are you gonna be like, nope, she's not hot?
Hold on, you just gave me a different paradigm altogether just then. I like a person, like if me and you were out together, mm-hmm. and we're both single, right? Mm-hmm. And we're like looking at bitches, and I get really, really excited about one of them. Mm-hmm. I like if you're there going, all right, dude, calm down. Like, she ain't that motherfucking hot.
Yeah.
You know? So you're right. I like having my wife there going, all right. I mean, Wes, I get you're excitable about this one. Jesus Christ, this bitch has a tattoo in the small of her back. That's not good. She doesn't come from a great family if she has that. If she does come from a great family and she's not crazy, she's probably the exception, not the rule. Let's everybody calm down here. You know, like I like that. I like that immediately. You know, skipping seduction is all about getting too excitable, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Right.
If you skip it, right? Let's say, because now you're making more of a rash decision.
Yeah. You're giving a bitch too much confidence
and too much credit, because she ain't earned shit.
She just showed up looking physically good.
That's it.
This bitch could be emotionally vapid, right?
Or just a thief. She steals.
Yeah.
Like you can't. A bitch. You think thieves don't look beautiful? You think crazy people aren't attractive?
Can I say something?
What's up?
I think the only reason that crazy bitches are beautiful is because those bitches kept getting bred into society. The only reason that, like, if you were a fucking 400-pound crazy bitch, guys were like, get the fuck out. I ain't having a kid with this dumb fucking crazy
Well,
bitch.
that's why Monica can get away with saying what she says without feeling any...
You mean Monique?
Oh, yeah, whatever the fucking bitch's name.
By the way, Monique, looking at her photos, I don't want to out her on Facebook, but she looks like someone, because you saw her face is very pretty, right? Mm-hmm. And bitches know how to take pictures of themselves more than anything they know about. They know how to take pictures of themselves. Monica, if you see her body, she is clearly someone that used to be hot. So she didn't get up every morning to make the team. She didn't keep herself thin. I remember you telling me, Anthony, one time about my wife having a personal conversation with you about, like, I think it was after the pregnancy, and she's like, God damn, I just want to keep my body in check and shit like that. And you kind of shared that with me. She's like, man, she's feeling some stress about this. And I remember my feeling about that is, because I love my wife. I love her dearly. My feeling about that was like, well, shit, I feel bad that she feels like that, you know? But then the other side of me is like, but cool, she's still trying to make the fucking team, right? Because that's what I fucking do. I know I got a coronavirus body on me right now. No, I'm serious. I wake up with that fucking stress, right?
Yeah.
Like, I gotta still be attractive to my wife, and it's not just looks, guys. There's a lot of fucking things. But my point is, the seduction process never fucking ends, does it, Anthony?
No. No, it can't end unless you want the relationship to. So, it has to be part of everything you do, really. If you're a habit of doing it, it's not something you have to think about. It's just natural now. Because I remember, I have friends that I talk to, female friends, like legit friends. Haven't slept with them, there's nothing sexual going on.
I've got a couple too, yeah.
I'm not even trying to have sex with them. It's nothing like that, right? And I still flirt with them, but there's seducing. That's a form of seduction, but the flirt stops after the flirt happens, right? There's no follow up afterward. I'm not trying to pursue something because of it. It's just part of my personality. I naturally flirt with women, and one of the guys that listened to the program, I asked him to do something for me. I said, "Hey man, just approach women. Just keep approaching women. That's it. I don't care what the outcome happens. I just want you to be comfortable approaching women, because I just
such
want
a good
that,
exercise, right?
I just want that to be part of who you are. You just approach women, and it don't matter how they look, what they're doing. Just approach them and find yourself in different environments and different ways of being around women, and what happens, and you just collect all that data. That's what I did. I learned that from doing exactly that. I started from the basics on up. If you're a Corey Wayne enthusiast, like anybody that's watching this program probably is, if you're not and you don't understand what I'm saying, then read a book. But it's a
hashtag read a book.
But it's a really good book, by the way, male or female. So I had started from the basics. I just said, I don't know shit, apparently. So I'm going to take it upon myself to do a whole fucking reboot. And as I did that, even the things that I said that I think I know already, that I was already good at, all it did was confirm the things that I did well anyway. So I was able to attach what I was doing well to things that I was actually doing right, and then take out the negative shit that was actually counterproductive of the things that I was doing right. So even if I was doing things well, I still fucked it up because I was doing all these other negative things. So I didn't necessarily had to change who I was. I still remain who I was. I didn't have to have a whole personality change. I just was like, okay, I avoid doing validation shit. I avoid apologizing and saying I'm sorry about shit. I avoid not making firm dates. You know what I'm saying? I'm redeveloping everything that I thought I knew about dating, and now I'm even though I have the bones of it, I was starting to put the meat and the skins and the nerves and all that shit until I became a complete thing, and I was like, oh wow, now I'm out here actively doing it. I'm still fucking up because I'm a human, right? Yeah. So I allow myself the space to still fuck up. I know a lot of guys are kind of like nervous about going out there because they're scared to fuck up. You're going to fuck up, guys.
Spoiler alert.
Right. You're going to fuck up.
Spoiler alert.
And you're going to come across a crazy chick that none of this shit's going to work on because she's crazy. She's just crazy. So don't worry about, trying to make...
No, Anthony, this one crazy bitch I talked to, let me just restructure everything I'm doing because it didn't work on this one crazy bitch, right?
Right.
Dude, I wrote down a note because you said, when I read Corey Wayne, I was willing to just like reboot all my knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this. I'm changing to a new operating system.
Mm-hmm.
This is what women lack, isn't it? Monique probably is not willing to reboot, is she? No, that doesn't sound like what I want to hear, so fuck that. That's fucking sexist. Now, you're a fucking sexist, Wesley. You're fucking sexist. It's like, no, bitch. You have gotten bad results. Your man cheated on you with your best friend. It could be 100% his fault, right? Nobody on this program is going to say, we don't know the situation. It could be 100% his fault. But what can Monique control in Monique's life?
Herself.
Her actions. So she was asking, why do men cheat? And we're like, this is why men cheat. But this is what women do, guys. They ask a question, and you give them the answer. And they're like, I don't like that answer. Fuck you. You're fucking sexist. Well, what about this answer? No, I don't like that fucking answer at all either. Fuck you. You're fucking sexist. Monique, my answer is that you're a unique queen and that you deserve to be respected. And that no man should ever cheat on you, no matter what kind of fucking crazy horse shit you do to them. That's the answer I like. Oh my God, I love this so much. You got it. You fucking nailed it. Yeah. Monique, keep only listening to answers that you want to hear, and you're going to get the same results you got before. Your next husband's going to cheat on your next best friend too, because you refuse to fucking move your life. Am I being too mean, Anthony?
No, I fuck Monique. I can't. I don't.
Well,
I
Monique
can't,
just
I can't deal with.
Hold on a second. We just got an instant message. Monique just told me, Anthony, you're a sexist.
Okay.
What? Don't you feel bad, Anthony, now that you know you're a sexist? Like, come on, man. This doesn't affect you at all? Or?
No, I'm good. Thank you. appreciate for that.
You're like, I appreciate it. Thank you for telling me what I am. Yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't.
I didn't know. That's what we have to always remind people. I feel like we're constantly... I don't want to take up too much time on this show, like saying aloud that we're not the He-Man Woman Haters Club. But we need to remind people every now and then, like, look, dude, life is hard. Men and women, none of us are above criticism, right?
All right.
Like, most of the shit we talk about on this show is the shit men are not doing right. Correct, Anthony?
Yeah.
Like, we keep trying to remind men how to be men, you know?
Well, that's the focus. It is a show for men. For what 97% of this show is about helping men be men and be better men. And what we say a lot of things what not to do, and we put in the aspect of what women are doing, so you can get a better aspect of, okay, she's reacting in this way. But that's because it's her nature, and you need to understand what her nature is. Understand what her nature is helps you become a better strategist, a better expert in what a woman's nature is, so you can predict her actions and her words. Wesley uses this analogy all the time. He just sees ones and zeros in the matrix. There's nothing that can really surprise you. Because you know what's coming, you know what's next, so you prepare yourself. So before you play the game, no one goes out. These teams that play sports, they don't never go play a team they don't know nothing about the other team. They know what they're against when they go out there. They know who's the best shooter. They know who's the best rebounder. They know who's the fastest on the team. You know, they know this information. Why wouldn't you want to know this information? You know, so one, we're talking about not skipping seduction. So what does that mean for you as the man versus the woman? You got to know that she needs it because she values it. That's why she's always on fucking Instagram looking for likes and Facebook looking for. Oh, hold on. There we go.
Jesus, this motherfucker's dropping truth right now.
So it plays hand in hand. You need to know, one, how to seduce her without validating her, and what and mention what Ryan said. You know, so we're on a journey of becoming better men.
My journey.
We're on a now you don't even want to use the word. We're on a course of becoming better men
in this universe,
and being accountable for our actions and being accountable for what we do. Listen, man, have you ever been with a man and it's like been around a good man and you like, man, this dude has been fucking killing it lately, man. What have you been doing? He was like, man, I just been out here validating women. You know, it's like I just been out here telling women what they want to hear.
I've been telling bitches what they want to hear, man. Hell yeah.
It's like
that's what manipulation looks like, right? We get accused on this podcast of like we're manipulating women. That's what manipulation looks like.
Yeah.
Telling bitches what the fuck they want to hear all fucking day is what manipulation looks like, man.
Mm-hmm. Especially when it's not true. When you don't believe it. Like if I knew, hey, if you tell this girl that she's pretty, that you'll stay with her, you won't treat her like this and that, and then you'll get the ass. That's all you got to do. And if I'm out here telling guys this, that's being very manipulative. Because this guy doesn't learn this about her. He's being taught this about her. But when we talk about female nature, every woman is uniquely different, but their nature is the same. So I can predict her behavior by her nature, but not by who she is individually. I got to learn that about her, right? I got to put time in to know that about her. I can't specifically speak on each individual woman. I can only talk about female nature. That's it. And that's what we discuss. So it has nothing to do with you personally, a female. It has more to do with how you think on a subconscious level and what kind of pushes you to react and do what you do as a woman in this Western society. As a man, how do you combat a lot of the negative language a lot of the negative thoughts that women have about men, and how you can kind of turn that into your benefit. Because if you know what those, are, you have a better way of dealing with it versus not knowing, and then it's catching you off guard, and then you calling me or Wesley talking about, how do I react in this situation? This just happened to me. You already know because you've learned who she is. Go ahead.
No, I hate that you felt pressured to be cut off, because that was great shit. What I wanted to share with guys is, many of you think that when you're married and you have kids, that the red pill becomes more difficult. Anthony's already over here shaking his head. Brother, the red pill was never easier than after when we had a child. Because let me tell you guys, women want to feel safe, especially when they have fucking kids. And women, when they have kids, they will try to be in charge because they're in charge of the kids. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times men will neglect being a leader with their children because it's just easier to let the wife take care of it. And guys, you can't do that.
No.
Anthony, we're going to have a segment on that one day, right?
Yeah, that's a good topic.
As an alpha male in a situation, you can't be the lion that lays over there by itself, and the cubs can't come up to you, and you're not involved in raising the cubs and shit like that. Dude, you can't do that. That's the old school mentality, and you can't do that. But let me tell you, my wife, my child, they want me to be a leader in this house. They want to look to me as the captain of this boat. I'm telling you guys, this happy wife, happy life bullshit you keep hearing, this is not what women want. This is not what quality women want. If she grew up in the fucking streets of Fraser in Memphis, Tennessee, unfortunately, you can't fix this bitch. But I'm telling you, my wife looks to me every day, and I get away. I'm here to tell you, I get away with a lot of shit, especially in COVID. I'm drinking far too much because I can't go work out at a gym like I want to. But I get away with like drinking a little too much and shit like that because I'm trying to kind of fucking cope. And I think a lot of us guys are, right? But I'm telling you, man, the red pill has never been easier than when I had a family. Because this is what women want. They want strong leaders as husbands. Man, Anthony, we've had I didn't realize this podcast was going to be this good, but like, we're ending it, and I'm just like, God damn, there's only 2 minutes left. I have a lot more to say. That's when you know you had a good podcast, right?
Put that shit on pause for next week.
Yeah, no shit.
2 months.
Thank you guys for joining in. These have been hard times, Anthony. COVID, riots, unjust police people, and yet our listeners keep tuning in for a little bit of knowledge. You guys are amazing for that. You're trying to better yourselves. I've got the smartest man in the world right here on this podcast, Anthony, telling you guys how the fuck to live your life. Anthony, what do you got left for him, man?
Don't let him tell you that. I ain't the smartest man in the world.
Yes, he is.
No, I appreciate the listeners. 100. Again, guys, subscribe, like, share. If you think anybody can find any value in what we had to say, man, share it with them. You know,
please.
It's not hard. And then you can, if you're scared that you think that you believe that way, and you scared of something, let us take the brunt of that. Let us take the hits and the licks, and we'll set them straight.
Yeah, no problem. We We can be your sexist if that's what it takes. Guys, thank you guys so much for joining in. I know it's been a rough 2020, and you guys are out there and you're surviving. I'd like to thank you all for joining us this week here at the Red Pill Phone Tap.